We back again with another episode of Buckle Up with the Boys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. So strap on your seatbelts, because it's all pedal to the metal from here. And without further ado, your amazing host, Drew, Billy.
Welcome back to another episode of Buckle Up with the Boys with your host here, DB, and host Trevor Dinsmore. Trevor, how are you doing on this beautiful Tuesday night?
Just got through a tax deadline, my friend. Stressed as all hell. So looking to relieve some of that stress, both on PlayStation tonight when, we play GTA, we play the show. And, of course, to our fine viewers, you're going to get to see a little bit more frustrated of a side with me tonight because of work and other things that are stressing me out in my life. So I'm going to take it out on this program, if you don't mind. I always say this is my therapy. That's going to ring true tonight.
Yes. No, a lot of different things we'll be talking about tonight. Trevor's statements as usual after my spiel of news. Also, we'll be stick around. We will be going through our brackets. Trevor's going to be leading us with that, and then later with me with debate time. But a lot of news here to unpack. Trey Hendrickson and the Cincinnati Bengals are still working out a deal, new contract deal for him, but they're doing it quietly. Do we see them getting a deal? We'll get as we go along. We'll see what they paid their wide receivers, but do we see this deal getting done, Trevor?
I sure as hell hope so. League leader in sacks last year, Defensive Player of the Year candidate, in my opinion, should have been Defensive Player of the Year. But the priority in Cincinnati is clear. Brown's going to open up the checkbook for the wide receivers. And he did. What was it, 4 years, 161 for Jamar Chase, and then 4 years, 115 for T. Higgins, the most expensive wide receiver 1 and wide receiver 2 in the NFL today. They're literally going to score like 50 points a game and lose 55-50 and go 9-8. And literally it's going to be a repeat of 2024 in 2025 if they don't address the defense, and that starts with Trey Hendrickson. You need your leader, right?
Yeah.
And of course, you need to draft well. That's hasn't always been the Bengals' strong suit on defense, anyway. On offense, obviously, they are what they are right now because of the draft. But otherwise, I don't really see them doing much if they don't have a defense.
Correct.
You need a defense. I'm sorry, but you do. And whether it was the coordinator, whether it was coaching or personnel or just schematic fits of the players that you had last year, whatever it was, you got to solve that. You got to solve that within a year if you want to capitalize on this window of having T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, and Joe Burrow, potentially the best. Well, not potentially. I think they are the best quarterback, wide receiver, and wide receiver 2 in the game today as a combo.
Right. No, I agree. If you didn't watch the last season of the Bengals, the defense sucked. They fired their coordinator. You got a new coordinator. Haven't really seen much moves, though, on that side of the ball. So I don't think they want to let Trey walk. But we'll see what the fuck happens. I want him to screw up, Trevor.
I do.
Yes.
And that ownership group is just known for screwing up.
Yes.
Literally, generational talent falls into their lap. A la Chad Ochocinco, Carson Palmer, AJ Green, and Andy Dalton. That pairing was very good for a time. Mm-hmm. And one way or another, they just find a way to be mediocre, no matter what talent is put on the field. And 2024, prime example of that. 2025 could be another one if the schedule doesn't fall right and if the defense doesn't shape up.
Yeah. No, I agree. But that's definitely a story we'll probably be covering next week. We'll see what happens. Hopefully they can get a deal done. But other news, thinking back to 10 years ago at this point, we had the Killer Bees. We had Antonio Brown, Ben Roethlisberger, Le'Veon Bell. Well, Le'Veon Bell has found his way into some serious shit. Without going into much detail, we'll kind of skim the surface here for the younger viewers out there. I don't know really the age group that watches this, but Le'Veon Bell is ordered to pay $25 million to a female relative who claims he repeatedly abused her in such a way. We're just not going to say, but you can kind of let your mind wander on that. But also, his brother was involved, and this dates back to 2017, or up until 2017. But her being 25 now, Trevor, this started when she was 6 or 7. So thoughts and prayers to his family member. Le'Veon, get help, and whatever comes out of this, I hope you learn from it, because this is disgusting. Quite frankly.
A little bit. This was going on in his latter days of being a Steeler. So definitely made me change my opinion of what was going on at the time.
Yes.
With him, wanting a contract, try and stay in Pittsburgh, and try and stay around the family, and not good to think about. And I know we're like tiptoeing around this topic, but there's a good reason for it. Go do your own research if you're of appropriate age, and figure out what's going on with Le'Veon Bell, because it's not a very good situation. It obviously involves a minor at the time, and just think Wander Franco, but worse. Just think that potentially worse if a lot of this stuff is true. I would say to go after $25 million, I would imagine there's some substantiation to the case.
Yeah. And I brought this up to Trevor last week. Did not know for sure if it was just speculation. Then the court ruling came out, but it's gone to the extent that it is serious, and it is true to the Bell's fans out there. His former high school, Groveport Madison, located just outside of Columbus, Ohio, removed his name from the stadium following the result of the civil lawsuit, which he donated $750,000 to their turf field. Trevor took the name bracket off, and rightfully so. So we'll see what comes out of it fully. But Le'Veon, you need to get some serious fucking help. But transitioning, folks. Again, do your own research on that. I just don't want to dive too far, because I think there's still more facts to be found out. But
a lot of it's in the early stages of the suit. And it's not proven yet. I mean, it's pretty well substantiated, but I don't recall that it was like full on proven. Obviously, the civil standard, more likely than not that it happened. Still pretty damning in this sense. But still, there could always be that. There could always be that element of wanting to go after the money. So until it becomes more substantiated, we're gonna kind of, like I said, tiptoe around it.
Yes. Yeah. No, it's just like the. Jesus, I burned his head name. Justin Tucker's situation as well. We'll see what comes out of that. But,
that one didn't involve any minors, though.
Right. No, this is different degree. But no, switching over to hard topic to switch over from, but we'll make it through here.
Hell of a transition.
Russell Wilson is trying to find a landing spot, Trevor. I find it comical. The Browns end up trading for Kenny Pickett, but Russell Wilson, I guess, reportedly met with them last week. And he also met with the Giants. Do we see Russell coming back to the Steelers, or what the hell are we doing with Russell Wilson at this state of the league?
I mean, we talked right before the show about how many options are out there right now. Mm-hmm. And hell, you even brought up Trey Lance's name, which hell of a pull. Mm-hmm. But it's basically down to Kirk, who's probably staying in Atlanta. It seems that he's going to stay in Atlanta. I believe he's due like a roster bonus here if they don't release him, guaranteed in 2026. So he's probably going to stay on until then, but quite the expensive backup there if you're the Atlanta Falcons. Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers. Basically down to those three. Which one do you want? All I know is I don't want that egomaniacal SOB who dances in the woods, paints his body, and does psychedelics, and draws all the attention and draws it out for as long as he damn well pleases. He's going to do that again. He is doing that again. I don't want Aaron Rodgers on my team. I just don't. I don't care how talented he is. I don't care how well he can throw the deep ball. I would rather have a false prophet, i.e. Russell Wilson, than an egomaniacal prick in Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
And I've defended Aaron Rodgers on this program, saying that he's misunderstood, saying, not everybody gets him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think I get him now.
Okay.
I get that his ego is bigger than the Hummer that he probably drives.
Right.
His ego is bigger than his house.
Yeah.
His ego is bigger than the puff of smoke that he does from doing those psychedelics.
Correct. Yeah.
It's just endless. It's just endless for him. And it took me years and years and years to figure it out. And I get it. He's still Pat McAfee's friend. He still goes on the program there, and tries to, explain his side of things. But to me, he tries to come off as a humble guy, tries to come off as kind of an easygoing guy. But we've been waiting on a decision for how long with him?
Probably 3-4 weeks now.
Yeah, 3 or 4 weeks. And now it comes out that he might delay that until post-NFL draft.
Yeah.
Which is going to screw with some teams, because what if you want to draft a quarterback?
Correct.
What if the Steelers want to draft Jackson Dart? That's been thrown out there.
Yep.
I've seen that in a couple mock drafts. What if, I don't know, what if somebody late in the first round does want to go get him? What if, well, I don't know what the Jets are going to really do, but and obviously early on in the draft, you got, I don't think the Raiders are going to, well, Raiders might draft a quarterback. Giants might draft a quarterback. Well, yeah, hell, if you're the Giants, they're rumored to be in the running. What do you do?
Yep.
What do you do? And if he's going to draw this out until post NFL draft, do you just go ahead, draft a quarterback, and say screw you?
Well, and we can get further. Yeah.
No, we will. But point being, this guy is just all about himself. He doesn't care about the organizational decisions that these other teams have to make. He cares about making a paycheck so he can smoke peyote.
Yes.
That's all.
Yeah.
That drives me insane, man. He really does. And you know what? I've been in an angry mood recently because of work, because of Aaron Rodgers, because of, a lot of factors that have gone on in my life. And now I've managed it well. Maybe it's time to watch Enigma and get fired right the fuck back up again.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I have not watched it yet. If you have, in the comments, let us know your opinion of it. No. And we kind of already touched on Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. We can kind of transition over to just one big signing. I think the media has talked about Trevor, but I've been reading a lot of Bill's articles and shit like this, but they're very excited for Joey Bosa to be signed by them. Signed a $12.6 million deal. How much of an impact, really, do you think he's going to have on that defensive side of the ball?
I think he's going to kind of be a rotational guy. He's still got Russo in there. He's still got Oliver, potentially. But he's going to be a good spell for those guys. Yes. He's still very talented. Yes, injury prone. And, he was that with the Chargers. I get that. But, you limit his snaps. He's on, what type of deal is he on? 1 year, what is it, 13?
Yeah, 12.6.
12.6. So that's not much. No. That's not much for a team trying to build a Super Bowl roster.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice complimentary piece. With potential upside. We saw how he was with the Chargers in his non-injury ridden years, racking up double-digit sacks, what have you. So you get the upside of that with, at the very least, the kind of middle ground where he's just kind of a rotational guy in there with Ed Oliver, with Daquan Jones, with Greg Rousseau in that set. So,
no, big question. Trevor alluded to it too. Reporters asking Brandon Beane about the concerns over his injuries. Brandon said, "We got a team here. We're going to get all set up." Yeah, you kind of bounce around the question there, Brandon. All right, Mr. Beane.
I get that. I get that. Yeah. Well, there's a reason that contract was only $13 million, not even $13 million.
Right.
So, I mean, could he have signed him for cheaper? Sure, but Brandon Beane's not known for spending Pagula's money cheaply.
Right.
So,
yeah, no, and also just and you guys can check out the interview he had with the Bills media. He did throw a little shade to the Chargers organization, Trevor, in the interview. He said, "I want to have the feeling that I had when I was at Ohio State, and in the atmosphere that the fans want to win, and they're actually excited about the team." So I don't know what was going on in LA that he said that, but
I say, seems like the Chargers wanted to win in 2024.
Right. So
maybe it's old wounds being reopened by playing for Michigan coach.
Correct.
Mr. John Harbaugh.
Right.
That could have played there's a reason it's called the game. The rivalry is, I'd say, the best in college football.
Oh yeah.
So that might be part of it. But that also might be just the awareness that the Bills are Super Bowl ready. And if not for some shady officiating last year, they might have made the Super Bowl and potentially won the whole damn thing.
Right.
Which would have validated even more so him signing with the Bills and ring chasing, which, I get that. He's a veteran leader at this point in his career. Hadn't really tasted anything close to a Super Bowl yet. With the Bills, he's probably going to be able to do that. So,
yeah. And also, I don't think anybody out there would be shocked by this. First guy to welcome him to town, Josh Allen. So, I think I think it's going to be a good relationship there, and we wish him as best luck as we can. But swinging over to what the hell we got here? Oh, Mike Williams. Yes, back to the Chargers. We just were talking about the Chargers, but didn't even know this happened. I just looked and saw if there was anything else that we might have missed, or I might have missed. And he's back on the Chargers. Says that 2024 for him was miserable. I don't know what he means by that, Trevor.
Well, he was on the Jets, then he was on a run-happy Steelers.
They just didn't target him.
No.
And I didn't realize how bad the statistics were in the analytics. And I'm just kidding. But the 21. But he only had 21 catches for 298 yards and one touchdown while with the Steelers.
Yeah,
it's pretty bad. We went out. We gave up a draft pick. I do believe.
I believe you're correct. I think it was like a third rounder or something. Or fourth rounder. So,
I would have liked him to come back. You can't really hate the guy. He was running routes or just not giving them the damn ball. So, wish him luck at the Chargers. Are you shocked by him going back to them?
No, he seems like a good fit for the Chargers. Again, another run-happy offense, but with Ladidi McConkey stretching the field at pretty much all three levels, that'll enable Mike Williams to go deep, and Justin Herbert can just fucking huck it to him on literally just on vert routes or on skinny post routes, and they'll have a good time. They'll have a good time, and they will actually throw the ball. They threw the ball more and more as the season went on last year. When they weren't running the ball with the likes of Gus Edwards and J.K. Dobbins, now they're going to have that Vidal, and they're going to have Najee Harris that they're going to run the ball with. So it might take a little bit to integrate them into the offense, but Mike Williams kind of already knows that offense.
Right.
Kind of already knows the plan and is obviously familiar with the area and ingrained in the community of, L.A. I almost said San Diego there. Still get used to that, but He'll be a decent fit. He'll be a decent fit.
Yeah. We hope him the best. Not really much to show for it with the Steelers, but we appreciate his efforts.
It was a fit thing with both the Jets and the Steelers. He just didn't really, like, we thought he did, but turned out he didn't.
Right. But he wasn't like a traffic cone like Van Jefferson. He actually did something out there, so it was nice to see.
Yeah. I think he got a new contract too. And Jefferson, I forget who he signed with, but I know he got a new deal.
Jesus fuck.
Traffic cone. Sink or swim.
Jesus Christ. But okay, getting into the what I think is going to help me and Trevor get through, let's say a little rant sesh. Free agency has been going for, at this point, a full week, 2 weeks now. The Steelers, Omar Khan is basically the fucking Michael Myers of the NFL, Trevor, would you say? Just silent serial killer. He's making moves, not saying much to media.
Yeah. I equate him to the Brett the Hitman Hart of general managers. Just a great technician, making all the right moves, but not overly flashy, and I would say underappreciated in the NFL. So, of course, that's a Steeler fan saying that. Like, the fans of the 31 other teams are going to be like, "You brash son of a bitch." Yeah, I'm a Steelers fan. What are you going to do?
Right. No, because again, every signing that the Bills did, every other team, GM's talking, kind of laying his cards out on the table. We don't see that with Khan. So some people are off-putted by that. That's smart. He's not fucking telling the media shit. There's other teams watching those press conference people. So,
just saying, Bill Belichick and the boys created a dynasty off of doing that.
Right.
Staying silent, just making these quiet, good fit type of moves.
Yeah. But, I think some of these teams might even just have a position for that. A scout. I don't know if that would be counted as a scout, Trevor, but just watch.
Somebody on the payroll.
Yeah. But no, to get in the real conversation here. Okay. Quarterback situation. Everybody's bitching. We signed Mason Rudolph to a 2-year, $8 million deal. Do we ride with him? Do we hold out for Rodgers? Do we reach out to Russell Wilson? Trevor already alluded to it. Do we reach out to Jameis Winston and Trey Lance?
No. Oh, God.
Yeah, with those four.
I forgot Winston's still on the board, too. That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I'm having fun with it, but I know we're gonna bitch about it here in a minute. So that.
Yeah, still a free agent. I'm very surprised he didn't. Yeah. The Giants did meet with him, apparently. They're meeting with everybody that's available.
Right.
So might be the case that the Giants are just going to sign a quarterback rather than draft one, considering they're meeting with Winston. They're meeting with, Rodgers has obviously been in the picture, and Russ actually went and met with the team. God. I don't know what we're going to do, man. If I were to guess, probably going to be status quo, and Russ is going to be a Steeler again, even after, the drama, will we, won't we re-sign him?
Mm-hmm.
Whether he takes that as a slight or not. But there was a period of time, remember when we were 10-3 and Russ was slinging the ball all over the place, where he thought he was a fantastic fit. Eventually wore out his welcome, had a kind of a limited offensive playbook to work with down the stretch. We didn't really change our strategy that much, didn't adapt to what we needed to adapt to in terms of opponents and their defenses, and kind of suffered for that. So you get a full camp in with him, maybe it works. And then you set up a nice little bridge to the future quarterback that you're hopefully going to draft in 2026, while still, kind of saving face and having a decent season. Mm-hmm. So to me, that's the most logical step forward, is to keep Russ. The weirdest step forward would obviously be signing Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
I've just expressed my opinions on that in a nice little 5 to 7 minute rant. If you want to rewind about, 15 minutes, you can catch that.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's going to be him. Winston's probably the other option. And that would be entertaining. That would be entertaining.
Yeah.
I mean, he's very much a sink or swim quarterback himself. I mean, we talk about Van Jefferson, Van Sink or Swim, This is win, sink, or swim.
Correct.
Which you're either going to be eating W's, or you're going to be complaining that he's thrown 3 interceptions and a pick 6 to seal the end of the game for the opponent. So, but I will say the Steelers' social media team is going to have an absolute field day with that man.
They would.
I believe it's been said by many across the internet that Jameis Winston, and I quote, has the fun kind of CTE. Not to throw a brick through a truck window kind,
wow.
but the yelling at a fish while fishing in the bayou kind.
Right. No.
Like the eating W's kind, like the dancing in the streets in New Orleans kind.
Yeah.
I'd like to see that.
And I guess here's my thing. I don't think Khan. I think the way Rodgers is going about this, I don't think Khan doesn't like to be swayed. He's not going to have a guy that they're, and I don't think that's the Steeler way. I mean, we haven't really seen off-season moves by Kevin Colbert in the past, so this is kind of new regime here. It's kind of, we're not used to it. Yeah. But I don't think he's going to appreciate Rodgers doing this. That's my opinion to the folks out there. Khan's like, I'm not going to.
Omar's not going to like us.
I don't think he's going to want to be strung out. Now you're fucking with my draft. If I could get Jackson Dart, but you want to hold me on the line, I think he just gives him the deuces and says, fuck you. That's what I think.
Could be.
And Tomlin, I don't think would appreciate this little carousel going on here. They don't want the negative press. But Russell, I'm telling you, Trevor, and we watched the Commanders game together. I say after that, something fucking happened to him. He shits himself in the pocket. He can't fucking do a goddamn. So, do we do that? Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see. But I'll tell you, I don't think we hang out because I know everybody out there loves the Metcalf is engaged now. Yes, he's not a crazed sex machine like he was. Okay.
And Russ actually introduced those two.
Correct.
So
I wonder how that happened.
Right in Seattle,
correct.
He's a family man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very involved in the community. A stand-up guy, as dorky and cheesy as he may be.
Unlimited. Yeah.
I need a nickname. I need an alter ego for my Mr. Unlimited.
Yeah.
Broncos country. Let's ride.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. Pittsburgh, you're my city. Okay. All right. What's
the next catchphrase?
Yeah. You just signed the contract. Okay. Big Ben was our quarterback years ago. Let's just fucking pump the brakes there, Russ. Okay. We've had Hall of Fame play. But anyway.
Ben didn't need a catchphrase to win one more Super Bowl than you have.
Correct. Right. And total yards and touchdowns. And that's the all-time sack quarterback record. But besides that, I'm also happy, and I'm going to say this to Steeler fans and Steeler Nation, the ones that watch us. I'm happy that we gave Mason Rudolph a chance to come back. I thought he deserved it.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I did.
I thought we should have brought him back last year.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right.
I didn't think we should have signed Kyle Allen. You get Fields, fine. You get Mason, and then you get Russ.
Mm-hmm.
I would have liked to have seen that happen. Just for the fact that, he went 3-0 as a starter down the stretch. Got us to the playoffs. So, if anything, yes, he deserves it. I mean, does he fit in the long-term plans?
No.
We'll see. We'll see. Likely no. Yeah. But he's been a serviceable backup. And we kind of saw his ability to manage the game and win the game late in that 2023 season. So,
correct.
I thought they should have brought him back. I didn't think they should have let him walk. But as I said last year, I was happy that he got his bag elsewhere. Mm-hmm. Now I'm happy that he's getting a bag and moving back to the Bird.
And people forget 2017, 2018, him and Duck Hodges. We I wouldn't say galloped,
but
Trevor.
they did good. They did good.
We fucking hobbled to the finish line, but they forget, and also he took a helmet to Miles Garrett, and that's why I hate Miles Garrett. But anyways, besides that, I don't need to get down that fucking road. Moving along here, though, the Bonnies are playing right now, Trevor. I'm been holding this in. I'm not happy with the result right now. It is a 20-point deficit to Kent State. They were leading at half, 64 to 44 with 3 minutes to go in the second half. They're hosting NIT at Riley Center. I was more excited, and then I saw the fucking score, and now I'm sad. But just to shed some good light, Woj has been announced that he will be inducted into the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame. So that's, but this shit loss, good man, deserves it.
Silver lining to a cloud, if you will.
Yeah. Fighting through prostate cancer, we salute our cap to him, and God bless him. He's done a lot for the university. He's continuing as our general manager. But swinging over here, I was so
real quick,
excited.
Did you buy one of his cell phones?
No, I didn't.
No,
I don't know if they sold yet. I got to check that website and see what the fuck's going on there. If it's cheap,
is it on like an auction site, or is it on just
so.
like? Okay.
Yeah,
I'll have to look that up when we're done.
Yeah. But swinging over here as well. New York Knicks. Trevor, I don't have their goddamn record. I don't think they're struggling right now.
No. They're third in the East right now, 13 games back. And I just had the standings up here. Let me pull them up again.
Yeah, that's my bad. I should have had that.
Nah, you're good. 43 and 24, so 19 above 500, 6 and 4 in their last 10, and just kind of been a little spotty recently, but still, they got their core, and they're progressing well toward the playoffs. So
yeah.
Be another good season to be a Knicks fan, which is weird to say. But not if what you're about to say continues.
The goddamn motorcycle just went by. I love the springtime. I love it. Yes.
Yeah. All
right.
Well, hey, with springtime comes fires outside and stogies, okay? So,
But, yeah, continuing with the story, though, Josh Hart and Coach Tom Thibodeau got in a heated, spirited exchange in the middle of a timeout huddle. I did not see the actual video. People have ran with this. I've seen memes and whatnot. I don't know for sure if he pushed him. But it was a heated exchange, and they were winning the game. So they lost the game, but at the time they were winning. So I'm not sure what the hell's going on there, Trevor. Any insight? What do you think? Just heated exchange?
No. I honestly didn't see this.
Okay.
And it was probably for a reason, in that, hopefully in the post game it just blew over. It was just an exchange between coach and player, just a gentleman's disagreement that got a little heated.
Yeah,
it seems to be that way. Otherwise, I thought it would have been a much bigger story. I at least thought Rich Eisen would have covered it. And
right.
he's a somewhat of a basketball guy, but
right,
mostly football. Occasionally, we'll cover the big time basketball stories.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I didn't hear much on this. So I'm thinking that it blew over. I'm thinking. I don't know for sure. I'd have to do my research on that. But
right,
as far as I know, nothing's really come out of that. I'm just kind of clicking on the New York Knicks ESPN page here just to see what's up. But yeah, if something pops up here, I'll tell you. But I'm hoping it just kind of blew over.
Okay. Yeah. No. No, I put my journalist cap on there for a long time. I'm not a journalist. Okay,
I'd be more concerned about Brunson missing a couple weeks.
Correct.
Than whatever happened with Thibodeau and Josh Hart.
Right. But swinging over here as well with more NBA news, just trying to cycle this in a little bit. Oklahoma City Thunder were able to defeat the Portland Trail Blazers by 18 points last Friday, but they did it without their entire starting five. They sat their whole starting five, Trevor, and the NBA is now investigating the matter for potential violating the league's player participation policy, which I didn't even know was a fucking thing. And I read it and I'm like, okay, it's just basically money grab. They want the stars playing. That's
Oh, yeah.
basically
I mean, the patrons pay for ticket values that are that involve those stars playing, right?
Correct.
It's ingrained in the ticket prices. If you're paying to see LeBron James and you see Austin Reeves instead of LeBron James, you're going to be pretty upset because you overpaid massively. So,
right.
I get it. From a fan standpoint, there's a grievance to be had there. I want to see Holmgren. I want to see Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. I want to see the stars come out under the bright lights.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say, too, the 76ers were investigated for a similar thing, not playing Paul George and Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey. Apparently, they're just sniping people right now. They're just throwing darts at a dartboard saying, hey, let's go get these guys that aren't playing their stars and aren't giving the fans what they deserve for the hard-earned cash that they paid for the ticket. Right. So, I mean, I get it. And I'm glad that this is becoming a thing because load management, it wasn't quite as wild west as, say, transfer portal and name, image, and likeness, but it was still kind of at the coach's discretion without much regulation for a long time. But now, thankfully, they're cracking down on that. If you're willing and able, you should play.
Yeah.
Well, you don't even have to be willing. If you're able, you should play. You're making how many millions of dollars a year, and these fans came to see you.
Right.
So give them what they want. It's show business, right? Ultimately, the NBA and sport in general, it's an entertainment business. Fans want to be entertained, and they want to get their money's worth. Mm-hmm. So glad the NBA is taking steps toward making that happen.
Yeah, no. And I think, did you say he's older now, the grandfather of this load management, Greg Popovich started this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But he was playing within the rules that were there at the time.
Yeah.
That's what good coaches do. They push the bounds of the rules.
Yes.
And that he's going to be remembered for that on top of the many, many Hall of Famers that he's coached, the many, many championships that he's going to have.
Right.
And, he's going to coach there for as long as he damn well pleases. And he has earned that more than anyone else potentially in NBA history. So
without question, Hall of Famer.
Not a question. It should not be a question.
And I think too, if they maybe sat, like he always did that with Tim Duncan, Tony Parker, but he would enter switch. If they just sat Gilgeous-Alexander, I don't think the league would have been as pissed off. But the whole lineup,
right? Big red flag there. Yeah.
But that's all I had for news this week. We can transition over to Trevor's news and segments.
Yeah, sounds good, buddy. We're going to get right into my draft dissertation. And it's going to be a brief one this week because we got college basketball to cover. It's tournament season. And like Billy said, we're going to fill out a bracket here in a little bit. So this week, we're just going to be covering tight ends.
Yes.
Yeah. There it is.
The green, but the suit looks.
It looks nice. It's like a dark blue blazer, you will, with the, it's kind of weird with the black hat, but my hair was messy. I didn't feel like doing it up, so.
Same. Yeah.
Throw the hat on.
Yeah.
Me get my nice little noise up here. And I actually have an announcement to make regarding the draft dissertation, part of it that has already been completed. Okay. That being Tyler Booker. If you remember Tyler Booker, guard out of Alabama that we announced on week 1 of this NFL draft dissertation, had him going to the Colts. Mm-hmm. However, recent mock drafts and a lot of recent mock drafts that I've seen have forced my hand here in moving Tyler Booker to going to the Dolphins at number 13. I originally had him going to the Colts at 14. Now he will be going to the Dolphins at number 13. which means the Colts have their selection. I think you might know who it is, but I'll play it up. I'll play it the dramatics anyway. With the 14th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Indianapolis Colts will select Tyler Warren, a tight end, Penn State.
Oh, shit. Okay.
They need one. They need one.
They
Mo
do.
Alley Cox isn't going to cut it.
No.
As much as he played basketball at VCU, your favorite school, I know, he ain't going to cut it. But however, Tyler Warren, he going to more than cut it. He going to more than cut it. Obviously, the number one tight end prospect in the draft, 4th overall per ESPN, stands 6'6", 256 pounds, ideal size for a tight end, and is graded as a year one starter on NFL.com with a 6.77 prospect grade. And honestly, what's not to like about Mr. Warren here? The size, the athleticism, the ability to play anywhere, the contested catches. He can snap the ball and run downfield and catch a 40-yard pass on the same play. Just an uber athletic, dynamic SOB that is going to be a great NFL tight end, I feel. Where he could struggle, though, sometimes he does get redirected off of his route when he goes deep downfield, doesn't break it off as quickly as he should, and in the run game. Not as sound in the run game. Can get outside with like stretch runs and stuff like that, but as a lead blocker, not great.
Mm-hmm.
But otherwise, I'm getting comparisons to, and you'll like this throwback, one Jeremy Shockey of the New York Giants. You remember him?
I loved him.
Oh, yeah. Absolute stud. Similar size, similar athleticism, similar, he's down there somewhere. Let's throw it up to him.
Yep.
And he's going to come down with it. So,
yes.
Tyler Warren going 14th overall to the Indianapolis Colts. And he's only one of 2 tight ends that I have coming off the board here in the first round. So a lot of this is going to be non-drafted players that I'm going to just kind of play them up a little bit. But and we actually got the 22nd pick in for the Los Angeles Chargers. And this is predictable as all hell, but with the 22nd pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Los Angeles Chargers will select Colston Loveland, tight end, University of Michigan. And pretty easy to see why, I think. I mean, it's John Harbaugh. John Harbaugh likes his Michigan guys. He's gonna turn LA into the University of Michigan.
Yes.
Makes sense to me. But anyway, Mr. Loveland, 2nd-rated tight end for ESPN, 10th overall prospect. Similar size to Mr. Warren, 6'6", 248, similar grade to Mr. Warren, 6.7, meaning also a year one starter at the tight end position. And those are really the only guys at the tight end position that get drafted in the first round. If you can make a difference right away, you're going to get drafted in the first round. Very top-heavy position, as you know, in fantasy, so naturally pretty top-heavy on NFL draft boards as well. But I will say with Loveland, a little bit more polished of a route runner than Tyler Warren, can run the route tree at multiple levels, wins quickly against press coverage, and just as well, very good change of direction, acceleration, very athletic. Does have some injury concerns, missed time in 2024 with a shoulder injury, so little bit more of a recent injury concern there. And his routes, essentially, they lack speed variance, meaning he has one gear, and he's just going to keep going, whether he's breaking out of routes or whether he's trying to get to the next level. Very hard for him to deceive defensive backs, going to be at the NFL level. Does get comparisons to a low-end Sam Laporta. So something worth keeping an eye on. If you are a Michigan fan and if you are a Los Angeles Chargers fan and you end up drafting this guy. But, however, that unfortunately is all I have for the tight end, so we only get to hear the NFL draft noise twice tonight.
Yeah.
Do want to mention a few other folks
Yeah.
here that are going to get drafted potentially second, third, and into the fourth round, and then potentially on day 3. Maybe a couple sleepers for you here as well. One, Mason Taylor out of LSU, the 3rd overall tight end in this year's draft, ranks as the 39th overall prospect. So early day 2 guy in all likelihood. Stands 6'5", 251. Grades at a 6.4, meaning could be a good starter within a couple years. Getting comps to Dallas Goedert of the Philadelphia Eagles. So a prototypical stretch the field type of tight end. Decent vertical threat, not as great of a blocker. Toss him in the slot, and he's going to do well for you. You can toss him on an end, maybe have him run some flats, pick up some extra yards. Nice and physical guy, too. Just as well, did play for a coach, Brian Kelly, at LSU that did emphasize progression in the run game for tight ends in terms of their blocking. So hopefully he's able to do that at the NFL level as well. I completely forgot to ask your opinion before.
Yes.
Yeah, Tyler Warren and Colson Loveland. What do you think of those two guys?
Day 1 starters.
Okay. They gonna do well? Nice long NFL careers?
Just because it's a Michigan guy at the 2nd, I hope he has a decent career.
Okay. That's good. You're being nice. You're being nice.
No injuries.
Our Michigan faithful.
Yeah, no injuries though.
Yeah.
A decent career. Warren. That's Shockey. That I did not think of that.
The Shockey comparison. Yeah.
That is a hell. He just fights for every yard, Trevor. And the package.
Yeah, that's what I mean. When I saw that on NFL.com, I was thinking, "Damn, that is so accurate."
And for the people that aren't aware of, look up highlights of Shockey. That guy fought for every fucking yard. He never gave up on a play. He never. And it's the same with Warren. So I like it.
Yeah, similar size, similar build as well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Loveland, day 1 starter as well. You think he's gonna? He seems like he'd fit in well with the Chargers system.
God, they had what?
Will
Parham
Disley.
Will Disley. Yeah, they need some guy to help bridge Herbert, their cutoff guy, or something. They don't. They're decent, but not this guy's level. So, yeah.
No, fair enough. I mean, they do have some other potential needs, but I think knowing Harbaugh, knowing the style of football that he wants to play, and knowing how he loves to draft those Michigan guys, makes sense.
Yeah,
makes sense. But anyway, moving down to Mason Taylor, what do you think of him? LSU product. Seems a little bit undeveloped. More of a natural talent than he is an NFL polished, NFL ready type of talent, but does have a high ceiling. So whoever's going to draft him, likely on day 2, is going to be drafting based off of potential.
I would say that too. And I think Brian. Which Kelly? Brian. I think Brian, he runs a kind of pro-style offense. So I don't think it's him learn the playbook. I think it's just acting that we just need him to do.
I got you.
Concerning though, I think tight ends now, Trevor, need to fucking block. That needs to be a strength.
I agree. I mean, it is kind of a specialty now for tight ends to block. A lot of these guys are de facto slot receivers. Mm-hmm. I mean, no offense to Pat Freiermuth, but look at Pat Freiermuth. We don't really pull him in to block too much. He's normally in the slot. He's normally, running routes. He's normally running vertical, running up the seam. But that's kind of how he does it. And that seems to be the theme of this year's tight ends. A lot of athletic guys, not in particular a lot of blocking tight ends, at least not in the early rounds. Usually those guys don't really go in the early rounds anyway, minus, Mercedes Lewis way back in the day. But they want athleticism and verticality out of these guys more so than blocking.
Right.
And speaking of guys that are getting comparisons to Pat Freiermuth, one Elijah Arroyo out of Miami. Cam Ward was thrown to him for a little while.
Yep.
Did pretty well for himself at Miami. Ranked as the 4th overall tight end, 48th overall prospect, 6'5", 250. And a lot of these guys are 6'5", 6'6", around 250.
Big humans. Yes.
It's kind of the standard for tight ends, right?
Yep.
A little lower on the prospect grade, could be an average starter at a 6.24. Only combine activities involved the bench press, and actually the three guys before that, I didn't have any combine stats on. Couldn't find them. But anyway, big concern with Arroyo. Did miss a lot of time in 22 and 23. I believe only, played a combined 11 games during that time, nursing I believe it was a foot injury, a knee injury. So has a nagging knee injury that could hamper his escapability, could hamper his acceleration speed, all that stuff. And just as well, already had below average acceleration out of this route as it was. Does have a good football mind, though, and obviously had good coaching down at the U. Does play with soft hands, good catch, radius, and a good ability to go up and make those contested catches. So kind of an unrefined product a little bit, but has some potential in the right system and if utilized properly, but it doesn't seem like you can plug him in anywhere. Especially getting comps to Pat Freiermuth, right?
Yeah.
No offense to Pat. I love Pat.
Right.
But in a system that's not the Steelers, I don't know how he fits.
Yeah, I wouldn't say traffic cone, but he kind of just does a little slant or a little hitch.
Yeah.
It's nothing except when he, does the shit over the middle, which they never fucking call. They call like 5 times a year, Trevor.
Yeah, no, they'll literally call it 5 times in like 3 games, and Steeler fans are like, run that!
Yeah.
And then they never run it again.
No. But I do like the soft hands and the catch radius. I think that's attractive. Yeah.
Not good on a construction site, but good on a football field.
Correct. Yeah. Probably might lotion those up a little bit. That's all right.
Yeah. Uses the Gold Bond,
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah.
So we'll definitely need to develop. We'll definitely need to find the right fit in terms of a landing spot. But I don't know. I think there's some promise there. And another guy with a decent bit of potential, showed a lot of good film, a lot of good stats at the University of Oregon. Terrence Ferguson. You remember him from the Big Ten title game?
Slicing us up.
Yeah, he sliced us up along with I always forget number 15's name.
Fuck.
He killed us. He killed us so much that you'd think I'd remember his name, but I don't remember his name. I'm literally going to remember it when I'm in the middle of one of my other segments and then shout it out. So we'll wait until I get into my other segments and then I'll shout it out. But anyway, Ferguson, 6'5", 247, a little lower in the prospect grade, got a 6.14, meaning a backup that could develop into a starter. Did run a 4.63 40, so again, these athletic type tight ends, 39-inch vertical, and 10'2" on the broad jump, so pretty good there. Getting comparisons to one Luke Schoonmaker. You know him from the Cowboys. He's their backup tight end behind Ferguson. Still, got a decent bit of targets with injuries to the legs of C.D. Lamb and all those, Brandon Cooks. So. But again, similar theme with Elijah Arroyo, much more of a pass catcher than a run blocker, soft hands, and he does break a lot of tackles, does break a decent bit of tackles, more so than some of the previous prospects that I have mentioned here. And similar to the other guys, does not a great run blocker, lacks professional technique, quote unquote, but and not a good catch radius nor a contested catch percentage relative to his size. So it seems like a decent open field, maybe Travis Kelce type on a much lower level, I would say. You get him into the open field and he's able to get those tough yards on like a 3rd and 6. Gets you 7 rather than gets you first down. But other than that does have to work on a decent bit here, and does have to. I don't know if he has to hit the gym, but he definitely has to hit the practice field against professional DBs and linebackers, I would think.
Yeah, no, I like the aggressive fucking tight ends. So when you're saying he's breaking tackles,
yeah.
He's not.
I was going to say you got horny when I mentioned Jeremy Shockey earlier.
I think of Heath. I think of Antonio Gates, he can get in there a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit more of a power forward, contested catch guy, but yes, yeah, he could break tackles.
There was some game Shockey, like he got a gash on his head or something, and he was still. I think the helmet flew. I don't know what the hell it was, Trevor.
There were several occasions where like he split his elbow, and the tape on the arm would be covered in blood, and he'd still be going.
That's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I like the physical tight ends. That's good.
Same, absolutely.
Big boys just fucking plowing. Yeah.
No, good stuff. Good stuff. What do you think of Ferguson? Do you think he's going to do well in the NFL?
As a backup, I see him in a backup role.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking that as well.
I don't know what team would. I don't know.
That's a good question.
Yes.
I mean, I know the Broncos are potentially looking at tight ends.
Yeah.
Might be a decent fit with Sean Payton's system.
Yeah.
I almost had the Broncos.
I can't think of it. They're tight end.
They got Pitts.
Oh, they have Pitts. You know, they don't use them, but bitching about them.
No, they don't. No, they don't really use them. I don't know. Maybe like a Tampa. They got Otten, but they could use a backup. I think. Yeah. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see where he falls.
Yes. Yeah.
But regardless.
Yeah.
A few more guys I want to talk about here before I get to my favorite prospect. Yes, I'm biased. My favorite tight end prospect in this year's draft, because he went to the University of Notre Dame. I want to talk about a guy from Bowling Green, who I actually saw in action against Penn State earlier in the 2024 season. Actually had a pretty good performance, was tearing us up for a little bit. I think he caught a couple touchdowns. One Harold Finnan Jr. Harold Finnan Jr. Actually the 7th ranked tight end in this year's draft. Little undersized relative to his counterparts, 6'3", 241. Got a 6.21 prospect grade, though, which, from a guy from Bowling Green, I'd say that's pretty good, meaning, could be eventually an average starter. Ran a 4.7 140, did 22 on the bench, and had a 34-inch vertical, so not too bad. Not too bad there. Getting comparisons to one Juwan Johnson of the New Orleans Saints, who just re-upped with them. So, and similar to Juwan Johnson, much more the athletic type than he is a physical blocking type. Good vertical tight end, can run the route tree decently well. Good acceleration through his routes and at the break point of his routes. Does struggle with blocking technique. Obviously needs to gain strength in the lower body in order to be effective in that department. But in all likelihood, a guy that you could toss in the slot as like a 4th wide receiver, so to speak, or even in a relief role of a Juwan Johnson, and I think he could do well for you. Not necessarily a good red zone option, but a guy that can push the ball vertically down the field for you. So,
right. Yeah.
But, yeah. Guy out of Bowling Green, Harold Finnan Jr. What do you think?
I do
have to say with those smaller school guys,
I did. I think I caught that game. Okay, that was the guy that was okay.
Same weekend as the UNI game for Notre Dame.
Yes.
That was a stressful day for me.
I think he could develop into someone special in the right system. Because Penn State runs a pro-style defense, and he kind of showed out. I don't know, how he did against other, big name schools, but I would say, if he develops, he has the make. All these guys have the make to be freaks.
Of course,
if they just got to put the fucking work in.
Right.
But I think starts as a backup, maybe what have you, maybe switching in and out with the starter. I could see him.
Okay, so maybe has more potential to be a starter than what's his name from Oregon, that Ferguson?
Yeah.
You think so?
I would say.
I'm going to say that's
in the right system.
Yeah. Right. But, well, of course, it's all, that's with all these guys. You got to find the right system.
Right. Yeah.
Like, I don't know, if you throw Loveland in a run-first system, I don't know. May or may not work depending on how well. I would say system and fit within the system, because you could throw Loveland in a run first offense, but if you push him vertically down the field like you do a Freiermuth for the Steelers, on occasion when they actually do that, it can still thrive.
And I'll say this to the viewers too. I don't know if I've said it even last year. You look at it, does not matter the school these guys come out of. You got to make that clear to everybody, and it really doesn't matter the round. Because Central Michigan, Antonio, who the fuck would have thought Western Michigan,
Six.
Max Crosby?
Is he a fifth or a sixth round or whatever he was?
I think he was a sixth round. Heinz Ward, so
Heinz Ward was third, I think, third round out of Georgia.
I want to say, I don't know for sure. I don't.
Yeah, it might have been later.
Yeah, but
I'll look that up in between.
When Trevor talks about the later round guys, I just hope people catch on to their names, and you might see them balling the fuck out.
Right.
Yeah. That's just
that's Heinz Ward, third round pick.
No shit. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought he was fourth or fifth, but okay, third.
Third.
Because that's why I love, and you got to mark your calendars. I don't mean to take over the segment, Trevor, but Draft Night Shindig. I get so excited to do it with Trevor because sometimes these teams pick guys way out of left field, and they're like, "What the fuck did they see?"
Raiders.
Right. Bill Belichick.
Jets.
Bill Belichick drafted rugby players, lacrosse guys. The guy never played. You know what I mean? So it's just, I don't know. So I just had to say that when you say these later round guys, there's potential still.
For sure.
That's all.
For sure.
Yeah, that's all I want to say.
Yeah, and I think there's a good bit of potential with this next guy.
Yes.
One Mitchell Evans of Notre Dame.
Yes.
Absolute cheat code on NCAA Football 25, by the way. It's like a 92 overall or something. Him and Jeremiah Love.
Mm-hmm.
Jeremiah Love.
Yeah.
They were lethal. They were the best part of the Notre Dame's, I will say, limited offense due to Riley Leonard's throwing abilities in the game.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say those two fantastic weapons. And Mitchell Evans, 6'5", 258. Got a 6.2 prospect grade, meaning average starter eventually. 4.74 40, only a 31-inch vertical, not terribly athletic. But I will say does have a good acceleration of his route breaks, good contested catcher, very, very good hands as well. And just as well, a very good edge blocker, does seal the edge on like sweeps and stretch runs. So is willing to participate in the run game. Could be one of those specialists blocking tight ends or potential red zone targets, if you will. So kind of a bit of a counterpart to the rest of these tight ends that are in this draft. And yeah, he's going to fall later. He might even be a day 3 guy. Okay. Did not have a whole lot of production in his last year at Notre Dame, mainly due to the style of offense that the Irish are playing. They were running Riley Leonard a lot, and they just weren't throwing the ball like I thought they were gonna. Right. But does have a little bit of an injury history. Had a foot injury in 2022, kept him out for a while, and an ACL in 2023, ended his season early. Was healthy for all of 2024, and for most of 2024. I think he missed like the first 4 or 5 games, but then was able to play all the way through to the playoff and to the national championship, getting comps to Will Dissly of the Chargers. Nice red zone target that participates in the run game.
Yeah.
So could be a good value pick down the stretch. I don't think he's going to be a superstar by any stretch of the imagination, but I think he's going to be a solid contributor and a solid maybe second or third tight end, I would say, out of the gates.
Probably not similar, but I'll say this against Penn State, he held his own. Very good on the block.
Broke a lot of tackles, and I said, the contested catches, all that good stuff.
Yeah, some name just popped in my head. Are you saying he's like a Matt Spaeth?
Could be. Yeah, that's actually a pretty good comparison as well, if you want to go to the Steelers route.
Yeah.
I would say like a less, potentially like a less explosive Heath, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like less of a vertical Heath. which is kind of what Matt Spaeth was anyway.
Right. No, I'd take that. Fuck.
Yeah,
Well, you already have 3 fucking tight ends, but
yeah,
I'm
like
interested.
4th or 5th round.
Yeah.
Team's looking for a tight end. Needs kind of a depth guy at that spot.
I see like no, they don't really need him. Never mind. Well,
Raiders, no.
the Ravens.
Raiders. Maybe
if he's there, just because of the run blocking.
I would hate to see him, but just because of the style of offense that they play, go to the Browns.
Oh shit! Yeah. No, we don't need that.
I wouldn't like that.
No.
I wouldn't like that. But
we don't need any Penn State or Notre Dame guys going to the Browns.
I agree.
Everybody else can go there.
Yeah, everybody else.
I don't want them to be sad.
I mean, Jets are looking for a tight end too. They like the Tyler Conklin types.
Mm-hmm.
Mitchell Evans kind of fits that bill as well. So could go to the Jets.
Yeah.
If they choose not to take like an offensive lineman early on, or they just wait to take a tight end.
Do you wonder, just because it really wasn't much to talk about, if you lived under a rock and didn't watch any college football, you know who Tyler Warren is. This guy,
of course.
Dive a little deeper into it.
Yeah.
I thought
kid got Heisman votes as a tight end. Just
right. Yeah. I think Riley, he could throw the ball, but do you think if they had that more style, this guy maybe would have rose up the draft board?
Oh yeah. No, if they would have had like Angeli in there, or if CJ Carr was a year ahead, they had more of a passing offense. Yeah, I think he would have been a stud. Okay. I think it would have been a Michael Mayer type, if you will.
Ooh, I love him.
So, I have a couple of his cards sitting right on this shelf back here. Unfortunately, that the lack of quote unquote lack of film, along with the injury concerns, I can understand why he's down on draft boards. But just the physical build and what he's able to contribute, I think he's going to be a decent value pick.
That's what's attracting me.
Yeah, and just the pro readiness too, relative to his position in the draft. Anyway, I think he's only like the 9th ranked tight end on the board.
Yeah,
but
I take that fucking guy over Connor Hayward. No offense.
Yeah,
I'm just saying he's doing something. I mean, come on, Trevor. It looks like this guy works.
And he does.
The only reason he's on the fucking team is because older brothers. Whatever.
I'd rather have him over Mike Cole Pruitt.
Right. Eric Ebron years ago. Jesus.
Oh
Christ.
dear. Oh.
I don't want to derail this segment.
No. Yeah, we're getting down a bit of a rabbit hole here. And I know we were going to do that, combining Penn State and Penn State, Notre Dame, and Steelers talk. We always do that. But anyway, last guy I wanted to talk about out of Nebraska got a pretty good prospect grade relative to his position in the draft. Only the 12th ranked tight end on the board, and only the 212th ranked prospect overall. So definitely a day 3 guy. Thomas Fedone out of Nebraska. Thomas Fedone III did put some decent film with the likes of Raiola throwing to him. 6'5", 243, much more of an athletic build. Got 4.7 in the 40, 35.5-inch vertical, so pretty decent there, and then a 10-foot-6-inch broad jump. And what scouts like about him is his ideal motor and size, like I said, relative to his position on the draft, and willing to stretch the field as much as he is, participate in the run game, getting comparisons to one Josh Oliver of the Vikings.
Okay.
So, not bad. Not bad. Probably going to be a 3rd tight end for a long time, but somebody that, could have a high ceiling down the stretch. It had like the, 6th or 7th highest prospect grade of any of the tight ends.
What was his name again, Trevor?
Thomas Fedone III.
That just sounds like
Fidone.
Just sounds like a tough guy name.
Thomas
Fedone. Oh, who are we drafting?
Sounds like a UFC fighter, right?
Yeah. What the fuck? All right. Yeah, I'd say that too. I'd say he'll find his way out on the roster, but I don't know how long, and probably be 3rd. maybe second option at best.
Hope he does stick around long enough to get a pension and
Yeah.
does find the right fit.
I do like the leaner build, though, 243. I like that.
Yeah, a little leaner, but still physical. So
Yes. Yeah. And the motor, you said, high motor, so that's attractive.
Yeah. I mean, you kind of have to when you're that low in the draft. You got to find something to be positive about. So if your effort's there and you're willing to bust your ass, you'll make a roster.
Yep.
So
I love it.
Hopefully that does work out for Thomas Fedone. But
yeah,
that is all I got for this week's edition of Dinsy's Draft Dissertation. We're going to be talking inside and outside linebackers next week.
Very exciting.
Yeah.
Favorite position one of my favorite positions on the field.
Mm-hmm. So that'll be kind of the meat of the conversation before we get into the skill positions. Running down the list right before we get to the draft: wide receivers, D-backs, running backs, then quarterbacks over the next, over the subsequent 4 weeks.
Okay. Oh yeah, love it.
Good shit, my friend. We're ready to move on to what's more likely, if you will.
Hell yeah. What's more likely with Trevor Dinsmore?
Record time. I got that jacket off.
Oh yeah, look good.
Yeah. You know what? I actually should have done. I should have done the spike like I did with Penta last week, because my first question for what's more likely involves one Penta.
Mm-hmm.
More likely to happen at WrestleMania. Penta el Zero Miedo wins IC Gold, or Logan Paul finally gets a singles win, or Judgment Day finally adds another member. Most likely of those three.
I'd say Penta.
Mm-hmm.
They opened that door last night. That door is open.
Very glad that they did. Very glad that they did. Two uber athletic studs.
I wanted, like we talked about, but they led with it already. Ray and Penta at WrestleMania, they already did that. But then now you add the high flying with the fucking brute force. If they face off, entertaining as shit, Trevor. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes.
And I'll tell you one thing that's underrated about Penta. If you watch his matches, very good at selling. Very good at putting other guys over while still, kind of maintaining his aura, if you will.
Yes.
So imagine, Speed.
Yeah.
Speed sold the spear very well at the Rumble. I show Speed.
Yeah.
Imagine how well Penta could do it on the grandest stage of them all.
Correct.
That's if they want to put Braun over him, make Penta chase a little bit longer. I'd be okay with that.
Right.
I'd be okay with that. So, and just imagine dogs barking, and then they transition to Zero Miedo, 60,000 plus in unison, barking, and then doing the Zero Miedo thing.
Yeah.
Fantastic stuff.
Yes. Good shit.
I'm hoping they don't waste that on a Raw. Put that at Mania. That'd be
you have to.
Or if you want to just pivot somehow to Ray versus Penta at Mania, do that. Okay, those are the two options right now. Okay,
correct.
Just put we're about a month out. Just put Penta and Braun against each other. The IC Gold. Let them run a little bit with that. Let them have a mini Jey Uso Gunther thing.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
But anyway, moving on from the brief wrestling detour, going to Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Talking about him for one more time on this show.
Yep.
Expressed my feelings already, so I'll keep this short and sweet. Most likely that Aaron Rodgers makes his long-awaited decision before, during, or after the NFL draft week.
During.
I was thinking during as well.
Yep. I could see that.
That egomaniacal SOB.
Yes.
Taking the thunder away from the young guns
Yep.
would make all the sense in the world.
It's a budget. God damn it. It didn't think about that until that question. Oh, that pissed me off. Oh,
yeah, me too.
and it'll hurt. And it'll hurt
it.
if he is a Steeler. God damn it.
Oh, I'm gonna have to eat a lot of words, my friend.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to eat a lot of words, and then I'm gonna have to root for him.
Correct.
But I did a similar thing with Russell.
Oh, we've been down this path before. Yes.
Yeah, badmouth the quarterback that was potentially coming to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Said quarterback comes to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now I have to root for him.
Yep. Yeah. I agree.
I just hope he can do better than 10-7. That's all I'm going to say about that.
I agree.
But anyway, we touched on Jamar Chase, T. Higgins earlier. Record-setting contracts for their respective depth chart positions at the wide receiver spot. Most likely outcome for the Cincinnati Bengals for the duration of those contracts. Not a single playoff victory or multiple AFC championship appearances.
I'm going to say not even a playoff win.
Wow. Damn, really?
I really
defense,
just,
right? Is that the
angle? Defense, and I just can't get behind. I don't think it's Joe. I don't know what the fuck the problem is. I really don't. It's not really Joe because Joe puts up the stats. It's the fact of I can't let go of them dropping that Super Bowl, Trevor. I feel like, and I've said before around here, I don't know if he'll ever make it back.
Yeah.
That's great. We did these record deals, but you're just fucking patching the problem. You had those same things last year, and it's the same product. It's going to be the same product. Made no changes on defense really. So
not yet.
Maybe that's what they draft. We'll see. Who the hell knows?
I'm thinking that's what they're going to do. They're going to have a young ass defense and a young ass offense.
Because I'll say this too: if they did those deals and they let Trey walk, I'm gonna have a little question there. I would be pissed.
I was gonna say what you could have signed Hendrickson with, you signed T with, which is interesting.
Correct.
Yeah, I don't know.
And they franchise tagged what, Boyd, right? If I'm not mistaken.
No. Boyd's no longer.
Boyd's not there. Okay.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I think he was on like the Titans last year or something.
All right, that I fucked up there. All right. Yeah.
Yeah, they might have done that like the year before or whatever.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, I'll say AFC Championship appearances though.
Okay.
I'll oppose you with that. I think Burrow can lift them there. I'm not saying that they'll win. I'm not saying that they'll make it to a Super Bowl. I'm just saying that they'll make it to the AFC Championship.
Yeah.
Especially if they run into the Chiefs. Seems to be Mahomes' kryptonite, Joe Burrow, in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
So no matter how bad a defense is on the Bengals side, it just seems to work out for him. I don't know.
Dog shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see who got engaged this past week?
Was seeing who was going to. I didn't know if it was going to be me or you, so okay.
Yeah, of all people to get engaged.
Yep.
The guy that just absolutely loves happy endings, apparently.
Correct.
One Deshaun Watson.
Yep.
Engaged to his longtime girlfriend. It's amazing.
Just let that sink in, people.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a woman out there.
Standards. She apparently doesn't have them. I don't know.
Bad.
But anyway, I'm going to tie these two together somehow. You'll see.
Okay. Yep.
Did you see what DeMarcus Lawrence said about the Cowboys?
No.
He gave a little interview with the Seattle Seahawks saying that, Dallas is my home. My family's there, but I want to be in a spot where I could potentially win a Super Bowl, and Dallas is not that place.
Holy shit. Okay.
And then Micah Parsons came out, commented on that on the tweet a little bit. He got a little attention back toward the Cowboys. So a little bit of infighting there from longtime teammates.
Yeah.
Well, not even infighting anymore. Lawrence is on the Seattle Seahawks, but anyway. more likely that Deshaun Watson's marriage lasts more than 5 years, or the Cowboys prove DeMarcus Lawrence wrong within the next 3 seasons and somehow figure it out.
I'm going to have to go with the first one.
The marriage lasting 5 or more.
I just, I'm big on.
Oh, man. I get it.
Let's just get into this a little bit. I respect, I try my best to respect the women, ladies out there. I just think that when I saw that, I was like, God, there's a lot of people that are pissed off that she kind of just sold her morals in a way. Hey, whatever. Love is love. But
sure.
I mean, that's almost up there, like fucking with the girl that had kids with Bundy. I know that's a terrible comparison, Trevor, but like that's the same thing. You're selling your soul to a predator.
That's pretty bad.
Yeah, but you're selling your soul to a predator, basically. That's messed up.
No, I agree.
Here's the best part. I want to know he probably didn't ask because that's the kind of guy. I'd love to hear the conversation between her father and him about getting his blessing. I mean, was there millions exchanged? Hey, you don't have to worry about shit. Just say yes. Okay, give me your blessing. Right? That's probably what happened here. It's all about the money, buddy. There's no love there. Nah. There's no love in Bill Belichick's relationship either.
I doubt it.
Jesus Christ.
Well, I mean, yeah, you see him doing fucking yoga on the beach.
We saw that shit too, yeah. What the fuck? It's a circus out here, Trevor. It's a circus.
It is. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. Modern media. I love it.
Wow.
I love it. But yeah, I'll say the marriage as well. Marriage will last more than 5.
It's disgusting.
But yeah.
Whatever.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
But anyway, transitioning over to NCAA basketball a little bit, and don't worry, we're gonna fill out a bracket later.
Mm-hmm.
But saw a prop on FanDuel, figured I'd ask you about it. Most likely Superdog to win their region. Mm-hmm. Louisville at plus 1,900 in the South. Mm-hmm. Kansas at plus 1,800 in the West. St. Mary's at plus 2,300 in the East. Or UCLA at plus 2,000 in the Midwest. I don't know if you've had a chance to look at any of these particular teams or even the bracket, but
who was the second team?
Kansas plus 1,800 in the West.
I'm gonna go Kansas there.
I was gonna say odds on best within this sample. But
yep, Kansas.
Okay, I'm gonna say Louisville. Louisville. Yep. Yeah, coming on strong. Had a good tournament on a good stretch of wins, and they have a pretty well coached team, good veteran team that is multi-dimensional and has decent depth.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, is in a spot where they could take advantage of a kind of a reeling Auburn team, right? Should they advance past the 16 seed.
Yeah.
And then they could run through the rest of the region. So I'm going to say Louisville.
Okay.
Yeah, good call.
Yeah.
More likely outcome in the NCAA tournament. A 13 seed makes it past the Sweet 16, so to the Elite 8.
Mm-hmm.
Or our Final Four is just all 1 seeds. It's just chalk.
Ooh.
And I'll tell you, the 1 seeds, Duke, Auburn, Florida, and Houston.
Mm-hmm.
The 13 seeds, GCU, Grand Canyon, High Point, Akron, or Yale. Yale actually is a pretty good team this year.
Oh, God. What's swaying me is Duke.
Yeah, I think Duke's going to make a run.
Yeah. I'll still go with the 13s here.
13 makes it to the Elite 8?
Yep.
That's kind of bold, honestly.
Yeah.
I was just going to go chalk.
Yeah. I mix it
That's
up.
the easy answer, but yeah.
Yeah. I swear to God, when we get to this bracket thing, even Duke's there, it's going to be like, fuck.
Yeah. BCU's in the same region, so we're going to.
I know. Yeah. And I will try not to be biased, so it will be tough.
That's fine.
Yes.
That's fine. I trust you.
Yes.
I trust you.
Right.
But that's all I had for this week's edition of What's More Likely. We're going to transition into yeet or no yeet.
Still got to make a goddamn cutscene. I apologize, folks.
I
Eat or no
get it.
eat.
I
What
get
Trevor
it.
Ned's
I get
for.
it. Yeah, we'll get there, my friend.
Yes.
We'll get there. Don't you worry.
Yeah.
So, yeet or no yeet? The University of North Carolina making the tournament over West Virginia, who I guess is now trying to file a lawsuit against the NCAA.
Well, they have it. That was the team we were. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. For UNC making it. For UNC making it.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. Big. That's probably the biggest no yeet that I've ever had in the short history of this segment.
That shows me we're taking a bigger school, bigger market.
Yeah.
Over West Virginia. That's what I saw.
Yep.
So.
Yep. Isn't like the head of the athletic department on the selection committee or something?
Yes.
Is that what I heard? So there you go.
That's bias.
That's all you need to know.
Correct.
Yeah.
It's bullshit.
Yeah, UNC, they didn't deserve it this year. Normally they have a pretty decent team, but this year they were just mediocre. A lot of not good losses. But
bad.
Anyway.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna actually, you know what? I'm gonna put this guy. I'm gonna put this guy on my yeet list before I mention his name in the segment. Yeet or no yeet, and maybe you'll see why. One, Rick Pitino. Rick Pitino. Kind of an unexpected name, potentially, especially for my history of not liking the guy.
Correct.
There he is, Rick Pitino.
Yep.
At the bottom there, if you can see him. I almost misspelled his name, but I got there. But yeah, again, I don't particularly like Pitino. I think a little bit of a scumbag. The scandals while at Louisville.
Yep.
A little bit of a slippery stern type, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
And he does have greater accolades to his name, has a couple national championships.
Yeah.
But if Rick Pitino is able to take the St. John's team, who is a 2 seed, to the Elite 8, I think that'll be his best work yet.
Yeet. All day.
Yeah. I'm at a little yeet, but in a very competitive Big East conference where it's kind of difficult to run through the table of the NCAA tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Just because of the, kind of the style of play that's played there, but he has a deep roster this year, and he has a team that plays very good defense.
Yes, and the reason I'm on his ship right now is the comments about effort to the team.
Oh, yes.
Remember that whole spiel, and also he came at AAU basketball, which I enjoyed thoroughly. Thinking, and also going back to these fucking kids. He's saying these fucking kids, think the world owes them and they don't know shit. Just because you're coming from these high class AAU divisions doesn't make you shit. The kid from high school could still bust your ass. I appreciate that, because just because you're on a travel team doesn't mean you're better than some kids.
I was gonna say you're a bit of a hard ass, and you like hard ass coaches, so that's good. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't know. Just because your family has the money to have you do travel doesn't make you better than the other guy. That's just how I look at it. And I appreciate he said that. Very off color in the NCAA realm.
Yeah. So especially in the modern age of NIL and transfer portal and all that stuff.
Some would say he's an old the guy that's past his time, but it's the truth. Kids need to hear it. I don't know. It's good shit, though. I like Rick. Right now, I like Rick. Not when he was at Louisville. No.
Correct. Yeah. Screwed over Notre Dame a couple times. But, that's it is what it is.
Yeah.
But transitioning over to NBA basketball for a second. Just going to make a general statement here. We'll see what you think of it.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, the Philly Big Three has been a disaster.
Yes.
We've all known that. It's well documented on this program how I feel about that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's close. But this Philly Big Three quote unquote big three is a bigger flop than the I almost said New Jersey Nets, the Brooklyn Nets big three. Simmons, Harden, and Durant.
Are they a bigger flop than that?
Or no, Kyrie,
Yeah.
Durant, and Harden.
I'd say, and this isn't just because you're a Philly fan. I'm going to go no Yeet because that was a fucking mess up there.
I agree.
That was.
I agree. And plus, so I'm going to go no Yeet as well. I originally thought that, and of course the emotionality of typing that out was like, yeah, that makes sense. But now I'm thinking the gravitas that was put on the likes of Kyrie Irving and KD when KD could have potentially went to the Knicks. And yes, I know Stephen A. played this up quite a bit. Called that the worst day in Knicks history, which there's been a lot of bad days in Knicks history. That was called the worst day in Knicks history when he went to the Knicks. And then ultimately, nothing came of it. Not for the Nets. Yeah. In fact, that might have motivated the Knicks to, let's trade Porzingis. Let's get Phil Jackson out of power. Let's move forward here. And then all of a sudden, here we are several years later. Knicks are the 3 seed and perennial Eastern Conference contenders, while the Nets, where are they chilling at right now? I think they're kind of in the doldrums. They're with the Sixers, 23-45.
Yeah. Well,
not to mention they didn't do particularly well with those big three there anyway.
I forget the deals, but there's a lot of draft capital.
Yeah.
The Nets.
There's always a lot of moving parts in those NBA trades. It's hard to keep track of.
And they kind of went all in, and it was a pile of shit.
Big old flop.
I think at the time, was Melo still in the Knicks?
And maybe his later days, if anything, but I don't think he was.
Okay. I mean, that would have been hell. That would have been interesting. Him and Melo, the old head and the young snake playing together. He wasn't that bad of a snake then, but pretty bad. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he kind of already turned heel by that point.
Yes. Yeah.
Wasn't Hollywood Hogan levels yet.
And just remind me, what team? When did Kyrie say the Earth's flat? Was he
around this time? Around the Nets time? I
mean, it was just there was so much shit, Trevor.
Yeah.
Jay-Z's at the Barclays Center trying to watch a game, invest in it. Shit. It's like just shit. Yeah. No. Tries to bring Beyonce to the game. Oh yeah, KD's on the team. Kyrie, James Harden. Oh, they play like shit. Yeah, because you got a bunch of alphas that don't know how to fucking play within a team.
I mean, that is true. At least with the Sixers, we knew what we were getting with Paul George. Potentially injury-prone veteran that's kind of past his prime, right?
Right.
Probably shouldn't have signed him to the big deal that we signed him to, but that's just Daryl Morey in a nutshell for you.
Yes.
He went all in, and this year at least we lost. So.
Yeah. I just don't know who the alpha is on the Sixers. Is it Joel?
Maxey.
I think it's Maxey. I do. From outsider looking in.
Yeah. For months I've been clamoring for them to get Maxey the reins, but it's probably not going to happen.
No.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
Brief detour to football.
Yep.
Here, talking about Pittsburgh quarterbacks again. And I talked about one Russell Wilson and why he should return to the Steelers. So with that in mind, Pittsburgh needs Russell Wilson more than Russell Wilson needs Pittsburgh at this point.
Oh. I'm gonna go Yeet.
I was at a small one, not a big, but a small Yeet. Yeah.
I'll just say this, and again, I don't think maybe someone caught on to this, viewers out there, but you look at the quarterback room 2 years ago, then you look at the quarterback room last year. Now you look at the quarterback room right now. We have Mason fucking Rudolph. Really, that's it. Like, it's just amazing. In 3 years, Trevor, how much shit has stirred in this blender that is the quarterback room for the Steelers. Just a mess. Fields. I wanted fucking Fields. I wanted him.
He went after the bag. That's that's fine.
It comes out. It's. I don't know if you've seen this, and I don't know if it's. I got to make sure that it's an actual true thing. They offered the same thing as the Jets. He chose the Jets.
Wanted to be a starter.
That's the thing. But I think if this,
he wasn't guaranteed the starting job in Pittsburgh.
Right.
He's pretty much guaranteed it with the Jets.
Yeah. Fuck. That's a guy not chasing the money, though. If you look at it like that, it's a positive. Yeah. He wants to play rather than ride the bench.
Yeah. Even though he's probably gonna only win like 4 games.
Minnesota sold a little bit, but it is what it is.
Bright lights in New York too.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, he was having a hell of a time in Dubai. I don't know if you saw that, the big party he had. But he
didn't he go over there with somebody that was fairly prominent? I can't remember who he went over there with.
There's someone sitting next to him that looked familiar, but I didn't know.
Like I thought he was like tagged in someone else's post. I can't remember exactly.
Yeah, I have to look. But the side view of somebody looked familiar, but I couldn't make out who the hell it was.
Yeah, I don't know. Probably one of his Ohio State buddies or something.
Yeah.
I'd have to look at the post again.
Yeah.
But anyway, on to the last yeet or no yeet.
Yes, sir.
And this guy, actually, I had put this man's native country on here before for booing the national anthem.
Oh, okay.
And then he goes and supports that and goes and tries to end Sami Zayn's career, not once, but twice, and probably a couple more times along the way in the past. And now he tried to ruin Randy Orton's career with a similar injury to what he caused to Zayn.
Mm-hmm.
Tried to, reactivate that back injury as well. And now they're embroiled in a feud, hopefully headed to WrestleMania. But the one side that I'm talking about here, who is making the Buckle Up with the Boys no yeet / shit list. It's called the shit list.
Shit list.
Long overdue. Kevin Owens.
Yeah. Enough of it. It's enough.
Yeah. I was in support of his heel work for a long time. And yes, potentially. By the way, there you go. Kevin Owens right there. On the Buckle Up with the Boys shit list. Doing fantastic heel work, but then he just took things too far against Sami Zayn. Tried to end his career. Honestly, took things too far against Orton way back. One guy was enough.
Yeah.
Trying to end the career of one guy was enough. Then you try to end another one before Mega Pop Orton comes out. So. Yeah, I don't like it. Very evil, very vindictive, perhaps justifiably so, but not worth ending a man's career over.
Oh, you eat all day, fucking.
Yeah, same here. Same
here,
my friend.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, that wasn't really the yeet or no yeet. Yeet or no yeet statement. But yeah, yeet to him being a piece of shit.
He's a piece of shit. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Kevin Owens versus Randy Orton is one of the hottest feuds going into Mania, and I think it should be first on the WrestleMania card.
Oh, I agree. Mm-hmm.
I'm a big old yeet on that.
I'm
a big old yeet on that one, yeah. You either put like a banger of a match on first, or you put on one of the hottest rivalries going.
You have to. The Viper. Yeah. You got to put the Viper. Come on, baby.
They did that with Austin Theory and John Cena a couple years ago. They didn't have a long feud, but it was pretty intensive, with Austin Theory getting comparisons to Cena and Cena just absolutely schooling Theory on the mic.
Yep.
I think you need to do a kind of a similar thing here too. Very intense feud. Maybe have a specialty match to open Mania, get the crowd up.
Yep. The Legend Killer in there. Let's go, baby.
Yeah. Love to see it. Love to see it, my friend.
Yeah.
But that is all I got for this week's edition of Yeet or No Yeet. We're going to move on to on a scale of 1 to 10, are they fucked? We'll run with that. We'll try to run with that. Try to run through that very quickly before we get to our NCAA March Madness picks.
Hell yeah. I just got to make sure. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
God damn it. There you go. On a scale of 1 to 10, are they fucked? Trevor Dinsmore.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank
you.
And
you got to say the F word.
Oh, I got it. Yes, yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely. Which apparently you can't say on Netflix now because a certain Brussels, Belgium crowd tried to say that to the biggest heel in the company right now last night on Raw.
Yep.
Of course, it got censored, so it reminded me of the old USA and Fox days for SmackDown.
It's bullshit.
I agree. But long story short, Brussels in unison. I was very surprised, like how in unison they were with their chants. Normally, American crowds a little disjointed.
Yeah.
But with Brussels, you saw it was a little disjointed at first, but then they got on the same page.
Yep.
And the very first thing that they really chanted was "Fuck you, Cena. Fuck you, Cena."
Yeah.
While he quote unquote broke up the toxic relationship between him, WWE Universe.
Yep.
On a scale of 1 to 10, are they fucked?
Yep.
He's going to be in this segment a lot until WrestleMania, I feel like. But John Cena for breaking up with the WWE Universe after 25 years of support.
I say it. I got to go 10.
Okay.
But
me too.
I think, again, I think I've said it enough on this fucking thing. Just for a new viewer out there that has watched us or subscriber or whatever the hell. Took a break, came back. Holy shit. He was the guy. He was my guy. He was one of my favorite guys besides Rey Mysterio. I loved him before I took that hiatus with CM Punk. But I think people are taking it a little too, that are just getting into wrestling. Like they don't get the whole heel thing. Like there's stuff on social media, Trevor, that like they're like fucking personally going after him in like outside life. And it's like,
yeah,
hey, okay, pause here. And I'm going to say it to everybody, and you already know it, but he's done a lot for Make-A-Wish, probably the most requested guy. We got to separate that a little bit. All right. Like,
I understand. I understand that. But WWE knew what they were getting into with this.
This is something. It's a very interesting time. Bigger than Hogan last night. Now I'm saying it. It's bigger than Hogan. She's not, she can't fucking stand him. She couldn't stand him before he went heel. And she's like, I called it. He's a piece of shit. And I'm like, my heart though, my childhood memories, it's like, it's tearing me. I have not.
And the fact that he came out to the same song with wearing the same gear, it's like,
right.
Okay. Like there's some small part of you that says, is this real? Like, is he going to come out as the good guy again? When when the da da do 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 when that hits,
right?
But no salute to Stu, no salute to the crowd and running to the ring, just a stoic walk, taking his time with the Undertaker. Yeah, no clapping hands, and just a chorus of boos akin to. What was the pay-per-view Money in the Bank 2011 or One Night Stand 06? Yeah. That's what that reminded me of.
Yes. And I'll say this. She pointed it out. Please. The shirts say never give up. It's ironic. I don't know if they're going that route, Trevor, but it's so contradicting. He's wearing the shit. Never give up, positive shit, but he's like, fuck you guys.
And to the credit of the performers, they used that within the segment. Cody Rhodes said, where's that guy?
Right.
Where's the guy on the shirt, the guy that you're wearing?
Yeah.
I don't want to face this at WrestleMania. I don't want to face this whiny bitch.
Yeah. No, I loved it. And
fantastic promo work by both gentlemen there. Yeah. Really kind of made me buy into, and they let them go for like 30 minutes.
Because I was cooking dinner and she's in there watching them peeking in and out, and she's like, I'm looking at the clock on the sofa. 25 minutes. We're 25 minutes in the show and we're still drawing this out. I was like, holy shit, are we going to see wrestling tonight?
They let him go. They just let them go.
I think it went 35 minutes in total, Trevor. I really do.
Right? Yeah, something like that. Or like it went to the 35-minute mark because obviously they in the opening they kind of did the promo packages
Right.
leading up to that.
Yeah. And I'll say this: I just enjoy
Please.
the overseas when they do Cody Rhodes. That's it's good shit, and they're in sync to T.
Oh, they even did the AJ Styles thing again.
Yes.
And he in a backstage promo. He was doing a backstage.
He paused the interview.
Yes.
He's like, hold on, listen.
Wait a second.
Yeah.
Those overseas crowds, man.
Last point, because I don't want to take up, but it was just funny. If you listen closely and watch it back, folks, if you didn't get to watch it last night and you're trying to see what me and Trevor are talking about, you hear "fuck you, Cena," and then you hear "let's go, Cena." Like, I don't know. Did you catch how they were
there was a segment that was saying "let's go, Cena," but the much louder was Cena sucks.
Yeah, Cena sucks. Fuck you, Cena. Yeah, all that.
Yeah. Well, and not only that, him literally targeting a child.
Yes.
And saying this is your fault, and then they pan to the kid, and he's like crying. He's like death in his eyes. And then WWE, I think. Well, I don't know if they posted it directly, but a lot of the social media Wrestle Talk platforms got a hold of that, and now it's a meme. It's like, oh my god, like he's destroying the inner child in all of us.
It's tough. I could not. You tell me, fucking 20 years ago at this point, Trevor, that he would do that. No shot. No fucking way.
No, I thought maybe around the time he was facing The Rock at Mania, maybe a little bit after that, when he was kind of an aging veteran, maybe he goes and puts some guys over in his U.S. title run. Didn't happen then, but then the farewell tour comes. We're thinking. Going to be happy-go-lucky, hunky-dory. Everything's going to be A-okay. He's going to win his 17th title and ride off into the sunset.
Fucking
nope.
Right into the guardrail.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Good stuff. Good question. Yeah.
Yep. All right. We still got 4 more here, so let's kind of get this going. On a scale of 1 to 10, are they fucked? Damian Priest, if he faces off with Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania.
He's fucked. 10.
10? I was going to say like an 8. Or maybe a 7, because McIntyre's going to mean streak, but I think Priest can somewhat handle himself.
I'm just kind of losing the imaging of him without the
Judgment
Day. Yeah.
That's fair.
That's all.
I mean, after the world title run, he has kind of muddled around a little bit. Yeah. Fell off. Did eliminate McIntyre in the chamber, so
he did.
Got a decent pop there, and I believe eliminated him in the Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
So, had some people put him over, but little decent rivalry there. I'm hoping that rivalry kind of lasts until SummerSlam. I like those two together.
Yeah, big brutes, love it.
Yeah, big brute veterans of the business, both very athletic for their size.
Oh, yeah.
I think that could be like a Seth Rollins, like Cody Rhodes type of feud right there. Yeah. To a lesser extent, but yes. I think it could be that. Just a rivalry of like respect and like legacy within the business.
Yes.
So
I agree.
Yeah. Cool. On a scale of 1 to 10, are they fucked? Going back to the NCAA tournament this year, the chances of someone scoring a perfect bracket after the first round. It's rare. It has happened in our time of doing these brackets, but it's rare.
Let's go 8.
Okay, I was thinking like an 8. Yeah. 8, maybe a 9. I'll say an 8. I'll be nice. Because you can get 30. You can get 32 right. Like,
right.
By some miracle, he can get 32 right.
And whenever someone does it, Trevor, there's all this fucking controversy. Oh, did they know? And then they go to the script thing, and they're.
No, I get it. Yeah. No, I understand.
Yeah. So it's the guy new knowledge. He's good. Or
they just pick the logos right.
Yeah. Right. You know what I mean?
To me, there's no bad method of doing that unless you're picking straight underdogs the whole time. That's not good.
Right. Right.
Sorry, American's not going to beat Duke. Sorry.
Correct.
I
No.
don't think that's going to happen.
No.
With or without, what's his name? Cooper.
Yeah.
Cooper Flag. Thank you.
Yeah.
On a scale of 1 to 10, are they fucked? Your bank account after paying all these bracket fees.
You know,
I don't know how much you play. I play a lot. So
I don't even
like
think
this and the Super Bowl are my two biggest like gambling investments, I'll say.
I kind of threw someone's bracket I was in. I threw a fit last year, so I was not asked. Surprising, but I'll probably do a couple brackets on ESPN. Fuck around.
There you go.
I'll
you just do the free
betting.
ones?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll be betting though on FanDuel and shit. But, yeah.
Okay, so
I just think it's safer.
So probably like a 4 or 5 or something.
I'd say 6.
Okay,
We'll see. We'll see what FanDuel.
I was gonna say mine's probably like at a 9.
Yeah.
I'm probably paying a couple $100 for the brackets. So
Yeah.
we'll see if I win something.
Yeah. Well, the one guy that I thought he'd be in the comments tonight, Doug always gets me in the fucking over and under. Like,
Yeah.
And it's like I don't want to do it,
Get it.
but it's exciting at the same time. So you got to do it. You know, fucking betting on some no-name teams that you've never watched. Yeah, let's do it.
I hear you.
Yeah.
I hear you, my friend.
Yeah.
Last one.
Yep.
For this segment, Angel Reese. Yeah, came out and said that she might sit out WNBA games this year if women don't get equal play and all that stuff. On a scale of 1 to 10, are they fucked? The WNBA, if Angel Reese and others akin to her skill level sit out, like Brinks, but Caitlin Clark does not.
I'm gonna have to go 6, 5.
I guess. Yeah, I was thinking like a 4. It's not gonna make like we get less Angel Reese brick memes. Is that
correct?
Or less people are gonna order the Angel Reese meal at McDonald's?
I'll just okay. Hold on here.
I was gonna say, choose your words very carefully.
I like the way that she wants equal pay. The way we're going about it, though, I do not appreciate. I'll just leave it at that.
I get that. You also have to build up your league to the level of
correct
men's league. In terms, again, this is an entertainment business.
Correct.
You have to make this entertaining.
Right.
And right now, the most entertaining commodity they have is Caitlin Clark.
They go where she goes.
Yes.
Sorry to Andy Reese fan out there. I'm point blank. Caitlin Clark goes. They're fucking chopping at the bit. Whatever. Well, I don't know how it's going to all work out, Trevor, but I think Caitlin Clark will probably own the fucking or be part owner of a WNBA team when she's done and all that shit. She's the league. She's the Jerry West. The logo.
Yeah.
She's the shit. That's all. But the pay needs to. Yeah, we need to get there. I did catch. I never thought I'd watch WNBA games, but because of her, Clark, I have. So I've caught a couple games of Angel, and yeah, it's like Dennis Rodman, but not making the shots. Basically, Trevor.
Yeah.
That's what it is. She's basically Dennis Rodman, but just can't put the fucking ball
in. She gets all the rebounds, though.
Right.
She even rebounds her own tweets.
It's terrible.
I knew I'd get an eye roll with that one.
I think her PR, someone needs to just help with the message because the message is coming across. She's just being a spoiled kid, wanting her way. And if not, I'm going to sit out. That's just how I look at it. That's all.
Yeah.
If you want me to play, the league will leave you. That's just kind of where I'm at.
The league will live on after you.
Yeah. Because there's a lot of good young ladies coming out that could be potential stars in the league this year. So we'll see. We'll see. Not Caitlin Clark level, but
Yeah, sure.
I'd say
hopefully.
Yeah. Sorry for the long winded there, but I'd say
No. You're good. Yeah. But that's all I got for on a scale of 1 to 10. Are they fucked? And Billy, it is time. It's time.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see if I got this queued up. Oh, is it going to show me an ad? It's going to show me an ad.
Oh,
it's showing me an ad. Hang on.
Stars one of Dave.
Here we go.
Oh, okay. Hell yeah.
Time to pick a bracket, Billy.
Yes.
The official Buckle Up with the Boys NCAA Men's Tournament bracket for the year of our Lord 2025. And let me share my screen with the lovely viewers here.
Yep.
Here we go. Actually, let me just share the entire screen. There she be. Let me know when you can see that right there and put it right along the side, right and nice and big. Beautiful. I love to see it. So, for those that were here last year, Billy and I just kind of ran through a March Madness bracket and see how it did, see how it stacked up against the rest of the field and the rest of the millions and millions that create these brackets on a yearly basis.
Mm-hmm.
And when we couldn't decide on something, I believe we spun a wheel last year, Billy.
Yep.
This year, we're just going to flip a coin. We're just going to flip a coin if we can't decide on something. And ground rules, same as last year. No 16-over-1 upsets and no 15-over-2 upsets, correct?
Correct.
We okay with that? Yep. So Auburn, Duke, Houston, Florida winning, as well as St. John's getting past Omaha, Tennessee, Alabama, and Michigan State. We're all good there?
Yep.
Okay, good. We'll pick it up from there, and we're going to go to potentially one of the most challenging games of this first round. Note, we are not picking the first 4 games. This is ESPN's bracket. In the bracket challenge, you don't pick the first 4 games, so we're not going to do that here.
Right.
But anyway, on to potentially the most challenging game to pick in the first round. Louisville and Creighton.
I'm going to go Louisville. I just can't stand Creighton.
I've gone back and forth on this. I can never really pick Creighton correctly, whether it's in a conference tournament or in the NCAA tournament.
And that's why
I said earlier Louisville could potentially make a run and win their region, so I'll stick with you with Louisville as well.
Yep.
Moving down to our first 5/12 matchup, Michigan and UC San Diego.
You got to go Michigan.
I was thinking the same thing. I was going back and forth. Michigan somewhat limping into the tournament, but again, I'm kind of split so far on the brackets that I've picked. So I'll stick with you with Michigan.
Yeah.
Texas A&M and Yale, another SEC opponent. Yale having a decent season.
It's going to be an interesting game.
I was going to say, I think that one's going to be a lot closer than what people think it is, and I believe the spread, as it stands right now, per ESPN bet, is 7.5 to the Aggies. So that it could be within a 10-point margin, single-digit margin here.
I'll still go Texas A&M here.
I agree. That honestly could come down to like the last 2 or 3 possessions.
Yes.
Yale could lead for a while and then give a lot of people anxiety, but I think Texas A&M will eventually pull it out.
Yep.
Sticking with another SEC-related game here, Ole Miss and San Diego State /UNC. The winner of that game facing off against Ole Miss.
I just caught one of Ole Miss's games.
They're fast.
They're firepower. They kind of remind me of Tennessee, but they're more in your fucking face and running gun.
Correct. Very, very physical on defense as well. Yep.
Either team here can't compete. I'm going Ole Miss. UNC paces these guys, so take them off the court, Trevor. I mean,
I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going straight higher seeds here so far, and I'm okay with that. This could be a bit of a wild card region, particularly in this section up here.
Mm-hmm.
like Michigan, like I said, they're kind of limping into this tournament, but UC San Diego. But not only do I really not know much about them, they haven't faced the level of competition that they're going to face in this first round. But that hasn't stopped a lot of teams before. That's a legitimate 12/5 I could see happening, but I doubt it. Then what many are calling one of the best all-around teams in this tournament, Iowa State facing Lipscomb. Do they have any problems here?
No. I don't even.
I don't think
no
so.
offense to any Lips. How the fuck do you pronounce that?
Lipscomb.
Lipscomb.
LIP scum.
No offense to any alumni in that school. I don't know where the fuck that is, but yeah.
I can Google it for you.
I've never heard of that school, and that's why I love the tourney too, because you learn about these.
Nashville.
Okay.
Nashville, Tennessee.
All right. Yeah, they struggle with
Google
recruiting because of Tennessee, probably. But yeah.
I would imagine, yeah.
Yes.
Anyway, Marquette and New Mexico. And if I have my facts straight, I believe New Mexico has yet to win a tournament game in 13 appearances. Fact check that real quick. Lobos they haven't won a tournament game since 2012. Excuse me. So it's been a while.
Yeah.
It's been a while for New Mexico. Facing a decent, team a good team that had a weird season in the Big East, Marquette.
They break my fucking heart every year, Marquette.
I understand that.
I might go off the rails here, but I'm going to go New Mexico here.
We're going to have to flip that coin, my friend.
Okay.
I'm kind of dead set on Marquette. So how this is going to go, heads is going to be the higher seed, tails is going to be the lower, okay?
Yep.
So I'll just flip this. Unfortunately, there's no sound effect to it.
That's okay.
Okay, we're going Marquette.
Okay, all right.
The coin decides all. I'm sorry.
That's good. No, sorry.
Then going down to the West region, the 8-9 matchup, who's going to face off against Florida?
Going to be a very interesting game.
I agree.
I'll go. Shit. UConn's been struggling, Trevor. I got to think through this here. Oklahoma?
I understand. You're going to say Oklahoma?
Uh-huh.
Second straight one. We're going to go to the point.
Yeah.
I can't pick against Dan Hurley in the tournament.
That's the issue, too.
Yeah, so let's see what we get. Okay, I win again.
That's all right.
I promise I didn't rig this.
You always go ahead.
I wouldn't even know how.
No.
If I could, I would, but I didn't.
Right.
So UConn versus Florida in the round of 32.
It's going to be a hell of a game.
Next 5/12, Memphis and Colorado State. Interestingly enough, the biggest spread of seeds here where the underdog is actually favored. Colorado State's favored in this game. I think it's by 2.5 points.
Memphis breaks.
It's 1.5 points. It did open at 2.5. So basically a toss-up for a 5/12 game.
Still going to go Memphis.
You gonna go Memphis?
Yeah, they break my heart after this section here, but yeah.
We're gonna be flipping this coin a lot.
Oh God.
I'm with Colorado State, unfortunately. Okay, you get your Memphis wish.
All right.
3 straight heads.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's almost like this isn't a real coin.
Right.
It's not, but still. Maryland have any problems with Grand Canyon?
No.
No, I don't think so either. A lot of people saying that might be a trap game for Maryland. I think they overcome it. They might not win by what they're favored by. I think they're favored by 10.5. I could see that being inside of a 10-point game, but you know.
Mm-hmm.
And it did say kind of in that analysis there, Maryland is a little bit streaky. So if they go cold at the wrong time, Grand Canyon could take advantage. I don't see that happening. That's a big stage. Missouri and Drake.
And Drake breaks my ass. Both these teams, fuck me.
I understand, but a lot of people are saying the 11/6 is the new 12/5.
I could see an upset here with Drake.
I was all over that personally.
Yep. Missouri's
they have a quality team. They won a lot of games this year, 30-3. Missouri, their momentum after the SEC tournament, not so great.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll go with Drake here.
Yep.
Texas Tech and UNC Wilmington.
I fucking hate UNC Wilmington more than BCU. I'm going Texas Tech.
What conference are they in? Are they in the A10?
No, they came up here. They hit a buzzer beater on us my last year, and the kid just like wooed at the crowd. And I gave him double birds. Fuck you.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
Texas Tech all the way, baby.
Texas Tech then, yeah.
That is biased. That was the only biased pick you're going to see, folks.
It's a legitimate pick. Texas Tech does have the better team, a little bit more physical on the defensive side of the ball, and they know how to get offensive boards. So
yeah,
I'd like to see Texas Tech win that game.
Yeah.
Good coaching matchup here. Bill Self versus John Calipari, Kansas versus Arkansas. And just in this little segment here, you have Rick Pitino, John Calipari, and Bill Self. 3 legends of this game. But who's going to win the Self versus Calipari matchup?
What's the overall record here? I don't mean to make you fact check again.
No, that's okay.
Betraying Calipari and Self in a coaching game.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if they track that. I could try. Well, here, let me see. See if I can.
Because I feel like John has had his number. That's why I might.
See if I can find this. I know, 6-6, even split.
Ah, shit. Okay. Kansas is good, man, but Calipari, well, he's fucking struggling. I'm going to go Kansas.
I was dead set on Arkansas.
Okay.
We finally got a tails.
Jesus.
Finally got a tails for Arkansas. So matchup of the red logos down there.
Yep.
We'll just work our way over to the east. A game I'm split on, so whatever you pick, I'll pick. Mississippi State and Baylor.
I just feel like Baylor has that dog in them.
This is pretty much an even split game. I think this, even spread. Baylor opened as the favorite. Now it's Mississippi State.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look at analytics here, 52-48 in terms of percentages, BPI to win. But so you're saying Baylor?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll say Baylor. I'll say Baylor as well. Oregon and Liberty.
I think it's going to be a total wash. I know it's the 12.
It is.
If I can go in
Crap.
there.
Oregon favored only by 6.5, though.
Really?
Yeah, do have the BPI. Pretty good odds there. Basically 3/4 chance to win.
I go Oregon.
I'm with you. They're usually a good tournament team.
I would be amazed to see who picks Liberty over Oregon, but okay.
Liberty fans, maybe.
Yeah, that's it.
Liberty fans.
Yeah.
Arizona have any issues with Akron?
No, I appreciate Akron making the tournament, though. Good for them.
Fair enough. And the one that I knew was gonna.
My 2 favorite schools, Trevor.
I know. The Mormons and the Virginia Commonwealth, where Mo Ali Cox played basketball.
Got to see him live. Great athlete.
Yeah.
They are a great team.
That's school they are a good team, and they got a coach that's, the old UMBC coach, I believe, right?
Correct. Yes.
So it has a propensity for upsets this time of year.
I'll say this. Holy shit. I don't know if I'm pissing off Bonnie fans here or not. It's against my...
You picking VCU?
By 3 points.
VCU. Huh?
By 3 points.
Okay. I'll ride with that.
Yeah.
VCU.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm picking VCU quite a bit.
Yeah. God, it hurts. Got like a chest pain going on here. I'm fucking...
Don't have a cardiac event, please.
Oh, fuck. Shit. Just got the chills. Wisconsin, Trevor, I don't even...
Yeah, no. Yeah.
No, that's Montana.
St. Mary's and Vanderbilt.
I feel
a lot
like
of people saying St. Mary's was underseeded. I believe they have a 28-5 record coming into this game. Not sure if they won their. I think they won their conference.
Mm-hmm. Vandy's
But, yeah,
just a team that they're always on the brink of NIT or this. So, for early exit, St. Mary's.
Yeah, they can be scrappy, but St. Mary's takes care of business.
Yeah.
Moving down to the Midwest, Gonzaga and Georgia. Gonzaga not a great record this year, but still they have a decent amount of talent. Have some guys coming back from some injuries as well.
I just say the play style. Historically, Gonzaga. I'm gonna have to go with here.
Okay.
They just dropped the ball, Trevor, when they shouldn't. But
no, I got you. Yeah. And weirdly enough, like this 9/8 matchup happens a decent bit. Like,
yeah,
little factoid there for you. And I don't think do we have any 9/8s? Yeah, we have Baylor.
Yeah.
And this one I could legitimately see too. UConn and Oklahoma. That one was a coin flip for us. Same thing here. I mean, they're all technically coin flips, but
yeah.
Clemson and McNeese. Does Clemson have any issues here?
I'm trying to be fucking respect. I don't even know. I'm gonna go Clemson. I don't know where McNeese is. Where the fuck is McNeese? They probably say this about Bonaventure. I'm not gonna. Whether we've made
Louisiana, Lake Charles, Louisiana.
Okay, good. Hey, I love the southern, my southern people. So yeah, but
same record. Clemson though. Okay.
Yeah, just
with that
quality.
Good with that. I think some of that celebrity brackets have Clemson making a deep run, so I can see that. Perdon't, as I like to call them in High Point.
Purdue.
Okay. Perdon't.
Yeah.
Perdon't wins it.
Without question.
Okay. Illinois or the winner of Texas and Xavier?
So some reason I'm interested in this.
I'm split here. So and this is another case of whatever you pick, I'll pick.
I feel like Texas or Xavier could beat Illinois. I really do. I really do.
Okay. I'll go with that. I'm good with that. I think Xavier wins against Texas.
Yeah.
I think a couple of those games are actually going on right now. Yeah, Alabama State beat St. Francis. Sorry, folks. Okay. And then, oh, God. I picked San Diego State in some brackets.
Ah.
Oops. Oh, well.
Shit.
So much for that.
All right.
Kentucky and Troy. Kentucky, I believe, looking to advance past the round of 32 for the first time in a while.
Mm-hmm.
Looking to advance beyond the first weekend, so past the round of 32 for the first time since 2019. Is this the year that they do it?
Yeah, Kentucky.
Seems like they have a good path to do that.
Their supporting cast and offense is just explosive as shit.
Agreed. Yeah. Agreed. Another potential toss-up: UCLA, Utah State.
Thinking of John Wooden. Thinking of
UCLA.
History. UCLA here.
I'm good with that.
Yeah. Now it's going to get interesting, folks. You're probably saying, "Oh, you fucking guys are taking the easy route."
You're going chalk. You're going chalk.
Yeah.
Give it a second. Auburn and Louisville.
I'm going to tell you, this one here, I see Louisville winning.
I'm good with that. Louisville's scrappy as hell, man.
The product that Auburn showed against Tennessee was horrendous. And I think I texted you. I don't want to be long-winded, but I texted you. These refs are keeping this game alive. If the refs weren't, their calls.
I remember watching that game thinking the same thing.
So I'm going Louisville here. I
like it.
They're scrappy as shit, like you said.
Oh, I know, man.
Yeah.
Like I said, they got a veteran roster.
Yep.
Pretty deep on the bench. And pretty good at 3-point shooting as well.
Yeah.
Not only that, coming off of an 8-24 last season, season last year.
Yeah.
The script is there. It just has to be written.
Correct.
So, who's going to face them in the Sweet 16? Michigan or Texas A&M?
I've watched Michigan. I haven't watched Texas A&M. That's my issue here.
Yeah.
Shit.
This one's kind of a toss-up for me, but I was thinking Texas A&M. I like the SEC this year, so we'll flip it. Okay, you get your Michigan pick. Dustin, if you're watching, congratulations.
Yeah.
Ole Miss, Iowa State.
Iowa State's too good, Trevor.
That's fair. They have an excellent team this year. Good all around.
Yeah.
Good all around. Good pace on offense and defense. Know how to slow it down on defense, speed it up on offense.
Mm-hmm.
Marquette, Michigan State.
Izzo
reached the Sweet 16 again.
Izzo is it just looks like he's getting a new breath of fresh air. So
Aging like a fine wine, if you will.
That press conference he had when he's chippy. We're seeing like the younger Izzo come out a little bit here.
Yeah.
So I'm going Michigan State.
Same here.
He's fired the fuck up. He's fired up.
So we had an 8-5 and a 3-2 over here in the South.
Yeah.
Moving down to the West again, Florida and UConn. Florida, pretty complete team, but UConn a good tournament team. And like I said, Hurley, pretty hard to pick against him.
The freak Florida has. I'm going Florida.
Yeah, I was going to say, I watched them in that SEC championship game. They just looked so complete. Like the entire roster is just stellar.
Yes.
Memphis and Maryland.
I'm going to go off the rails. Memphis.
No.
Okay.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
All right.
We're going Maryland.
Okay.
We're going Maryland. Oh, and I guess to specify, I know I said higher seeds before, but we're just going top heads, bottom tails.
Yeah.
With the rest of these matchups, just to clarify.
Yeah.
I think you got it. I'm not sure if the rest of our viewers got it, but
yeah.
Drake and Texas Tech. Does Drake pull off a massive upset here?
No, Texas Tech.
So, yeah, I'm good with that. Then matchup of legendary head coaches, Calipari versus one Rick Pitino.
Ricky goes to the Sweet 16.
Good with that. So, yeah, chalk here in the West, but that's just how it goes.
Yeah, the seeding's just,
Yeah, Duke and Baylor.
I see a fucking blowout here.
Duke?
Yeah, if Cooper's on.
Yeah.
Cooper,
He's coming back from his injury, too. Sat out the ACC tournament. But...
Yeah. And they didn't look to struggle that much. I mean...
That's true.
Yeah, so that kind of just tells me...
An excellent team this year, yeah.
This one's probably the hardest one on this bracket.
Of this round, I would say so. Absolutely. Two good tournament teams here as well. Two well-coached, disciplined teams. I'll give you a preview here. Oregon with the better record this year, obviously in a different conference.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll give you a little Oregon blurb here. Dana Altman, yeah, that's their coach. And they got a pretty good rim protector. I mean, I like rim protectors in March.
Yeah. Just based off that, I'm going Oregon.
Okay. I'm good with that. I was kind of good with whatever you picked. I didn't have any strong feelings either way. Both two good tournament teams right there. I think that's going to be the matchup.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah. VCU and Wisconsin. Does VCU make it to the Sweet 16?
No.
Are you going to pick them twice?
We're going Wisconsin.
Okay.
They don't have the firepower.
That's fine.
They don't. They just...
No, I get it. Wisconsin had a rough Big Ten title game, and they might be a little bit tired, but the talent is there for sure. So as long as they're able to rotate in and out, they'll be fine. St. Mary's in Alabama.
God, I love that one guard on Alabama. Shit, what the hell's his name?
Probably tell you, Sears.
I like him. He's chippy.
Me too. Mm-hmm. Averaging 18 a game and 5 assists.
Yeah, he talks that shit too. Alabama.
Okay. So another one, or actually a 1-2-3-5 Sweet 16 over here in the East. Houston and Gonzaga.
Another team that breaks my heart, Houston, but we'll go Houston here.
I'm with you. Not by a lot, though.
No.
Not by a lot.
Mm-mm.
I think these two teams pretty well matched up. Gonzaga tends to score a little bit more per game, but Houston has the better defense.
Yep.
And I like defense in March. That's just me. I like defense.
Yeah.
Clemson and Purdue. I have strong feelings on this one, so I'll see if we agree.
Clemson.
Okay, we're good.
Just the quality of teams they've had to face.
Yeah. Getting hot at the right time as well.
Yes.
So. Yeah. Kentucky and Texas/Xavier, wherever you want to.
Kentucky's offense is fucking out of hand.
I'm good. I'm good with that. UCLA and Tennessee.
Bulls, you better not break my fucking heart. Go Tennessee here.
Okay. So another 1-2-3-5 over here in the Midwest. Circling back to the South, who's going to make it to the Elite Eight? Louisville or Michigan?
I gotta go Louisville here, Trevor.
Damn. I mean, yeah, I like it. I like it. I'm not going to flip the coin on that one. And I said Louisville could make an Elite Eight run. They could win their region.
Yeah. This one's hard as shit.
Oh, God. Yeah. Two exceptionally well-coached teams. Two very complete teams. I'm more inclined to, if depth is a part of this analysis, whoever has the depth. Okay, they did have a player, Lipsy, missed some time, but he's going to be back. Deepest and most resilient teams. I mean, has all the qualities of a team to make a deep tourney run. It's tough. You two great all around teams, and one team has a little bit better of a history in the tournament, though. So do you just err on that history?
Go Michigan State here.
Okay, I'm good with that.
Yeah.
So Louisville, Michigan State, Elite Eight down there. Florida and Maryland in the West.
Florida.
Okay.
Their guard play and yeah.
Yeah, it's exceptional. It's exceptional. Yeah. Good perimeter defense.
Yeah.
Texas Tech and St. John's.
Oh,
does Patino make it to the Elite Eight?
He could. Where are you at? We might have.
I have strong feelings that he will. I think St. John's is going to make a run this year.
I'm with St. John's.
Okay.
Yeah. I didn't know if you were with Texas Tech, so I was like,
Nah.
Okay.
Not really. Texas Tech, another team that kind of hit or miss for me in the tournament.
Yeah.
So I won't pick them to go too terribly far. Duke and Oregon.
Duke.
Yep. I have them in, like, all the brackets that I've filled out so far. I have them in my Final Four. So, Wisconsin and Alabama.
Gonna have to go Alabama.
I'm okay with that. I was maybe gonna resort to a coin flip, but Alabama just plays at too frenetic a pace.
Yeah.
I don't think Wisconsin's gonna be able to keep up. Houston and Clemson. When does Houston break your heart? It's the question.
I feel like it's here.
You think it's here? Are you going to pick Clemson?
I might go Clemson here.
We're going to go to the coin.
I got to go,
That's fine. Okay. We might get screwed there, but we might get screwed. I just have, I don't know.
They're not going to get
it. It's just a feeling. Like I have strong feelings toward Houston.
Yeah.
Kentucky and Tennessee, another team. Is this where Tennessee goes by the wayside?
Kentucky.
Yeah. Okay. I'm with you on this one.
I have to rip the Band-Aid off. Their style of play, Trevor, these guys are going to be gassed.
No, I get it. No, absolutely. I'm with you. Elite Eight to determine the Final Four, Louisville and Michigan State.
Michigan State.
Yep. I'm good with that. This is where Louisville's miracle run comes to an end. The
Yes.
social media darlings for all of a week and a half gone by the wayside. Duke and Alabama. Excuse me.
Duke.
Consistent with the rest of my brackets, it's Duke's going to be in the Final Four.
Yeah.
Then Florida St. John's. Does Pitino go to the Final Four?
I'm going to say Florida.
Yeah, me too.
Um,
Me too. I like what Pitino has done. Florida's just what I watched of them this year. They're just too complete. Like,
yes.
Good at rebounding, good on the perimeter, good at physical on defense. Don't turn the ball over a lot. So, yeah, Florida. And then Houston and Kentucky.
I'm going to go Kentucky.
Wow. Okay. We're going to the coin again. This might screw you on Houston twice. It does.
Damn it.
Sorry.
That's all right.
Honestly, if
this is good.
Houston loses early, I will publicly apologize.
No. I like Houston either way.
Yeah, we got 3 1 seeds and a 2 making it.
Holy fuck, this is something.
We almost went straight chalk, but we had Auburn getting eliminated early.
Yeah. Oh.
So actually, you know what? I've changed my mind.
I don't know here, Trevor.
I've changed my mind. So you don't know? For the Final Four here, Michigan State versus Florida on one side, Duke and Kentucky on the other in San Antone.
Michigan State.
I'm on Florida, buddy.
Okay.
I'm on Florida. I get Florida.
Okay.
It seemed like you were okay with both of them, though.
I was. These are right here. This is where it's. Yeah.
I was going to say, this is where it gets dicey. Duke and Kentucky.
Does Cooper Flagg become the new Christian Leitner?
Potentially. I think he's a little bit more liked, but yes.
Duke?
I think this is where Kentucky's miracle run comes to a halt.
God,
and then you had Duke and Florida. And kind of scroll through this here. Just to get you a sense of where these guys are at. Averaging close to the same a game. Duke has better defense by about a 7-point margin. But Florida has more experience versus the top 25 teams, 8-2. But Duke is better on the BPI, so it's a toss-up.
We'll go Florida.
I'm good with Florida.
Jesus.
Total points? That can go back to the
128.
Only
shit.
120.
Whoa.
I was going to say, yeah. Do you mean 148? Or 158?
154.
Okay.
I don't know why that popped in
I'm
my
okay
head.
with that. I was thinking anywhere between 150 and 160. So
yeah,
154 is good.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got Florida cutting down the nets.
Yeah.
With Michigan State, Florida on one side in the Final Four, Duke and Kentucky on another.
Jesus.
And as you can see, I already created another bracket on my own here. I believe I actually picked Florida as well. So let me go to my brackets here. Wait. Yeah.
Yeah.
Florida with my other one. However, this one is the official Buckle Up with the Boys NCAA tournament bracket.
Hell yeah.
So we'll keep track of it, see how we do on a week-to-week basis, and yeah.
Good shit.
Good shit, my friend. Yeah.
Good shit. Yeah.
kind of went chalk toward the end there, but had Auburn, which is the third most picked champion, actually, had them getting eliminated by Louisville, which I don't think a lot of people would be shocked, but I don't think as many as a lot of people think. That makes sense.
Right.
So, but
Yeah.
let me kind of see what else we got here. Any other? Yeah, not really a whole lot of any other surprises. I know you had Clemson coming in here. I could legitimately see that. St. John's making the Elite Eight. I'm hoping St. John's doesn't get nabbed off between one of these two legendary head coaches with a lot of tournament experience.
Right.
I'm thinking if they make it past the round of 32, I think they'll be fine.
Yeah.
Tennessee, if Tennessee breaks your heart again,
Sons of bitches.
I was going to say you might need to take some antidepressants after that one.
Right.
What's the biggest upset we got in here? I think it's just an 11/6, right? I don't think we have. Do we have any 12/5s? I don't think we do. No, we don't. No 12/5s. We have Michigan winning, Oregon winning, Clemson winning, and Memphis winning.
Yeah.
I think the biggest one we have is an 11/6. A couple 10/7s, I believe. Arkansas winning. I know you picked New Mexico over here. I don't think Utah State's going to win. Yeah, interesting.
Yeah,
all right.
Good shit. Good shit,
my friend. That is that's all I got. That's all I got for that. If we want to do, I know we're pretty late into
we're good.
Deep into the weeds here, but we'll do debate time if you want.
Yeah, we'll throw that in, and then and then Trevor has our Be a Man question of the week, and stay around for that. But here we'll get into debate time.
Yes, sir.
Find the damn thing. Okay. Hell yeah. Another week of another recap of debate time for this week. Got 4 questions here for me and Trevor to dissect. Best fast food burger.
Oh boy. Oh man. There's a lot of good options.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you right now, I think Whataburger is overrated.
Yes.
I think In-N-Out is slightly overrated, not as overrated as a lot of people think. It's slightly overrated. I think it's just a basic fast food burger, and quite frankly, I think McDonald's is overrated.
I agree.
Yeah, Big Mac sauce, sure, I'll eat a Big Mac from there.
Yeah.
I tell you which burger I like. I like Wendy's. I like the Wendy's.
I agree.
Baconator.
Yep.
Yeah.
It just tastes better.
Yeah, that's just kind of the one that's sticking out in my head right now. So that's what I'm going to stick with. Burger King, their chicken sandwiches are better than their burgers. Like,
yes.
Come on, Burger King, do better a little bit.
Yeah.
Dairy Queen's kind of delved into burgers, and they're not bad for typically what they're known for, but they're not great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. I was going to say Cane's chicken. I'm trying to think of other fast food places that are. But no, for now I'll say Wendy's though.
Yeah, I'm with you. Wendy's, I think, is the best. And I don't know if it's the squares or what the hell it is, but it's damn good.
Yeah.
But what is your favorite show all time?
All time, probably The Office.
See, now this is where it's a toss-up for me. It's either The Office or Trailer Park Boys or Sopranos, and they're 3 different.
yeah, it's up there. It's up there. I gotta finish The Sopranos before I can officially say all time. Currently, one that I'm currently watching. It's obviously my favorite. And by the end of it, I could say yes, it's my favorite of all time. It's like 1B right now. It could easily usurp The Office very soon.
Yeah.
But one that I just go back and rewatch. It's The Office, and Cobra Kai is up there as well.
Yeah.
Outer Banks is one that I watch every time a new season comes out. And I tell you what, I got to watch that might make it onto that top 10 list is Suits. Like, I've heard a lot of good things about Suits.
Yes. Yeah.
So I'll have to check that out for sure.
Yeah.
But right now, 1A is Office, 1B Sopranos.
And honorable mention, I've talked to Trevor about It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. It's fucking hilarious. If you haven't watched it, check it out. But what is the best dynasty in sports?
Probably the Celtics of the 60s.
I had them, Bulls.
In terms of women championships.
Yeah. You got the 70 Steelers. You got 80 Celtics.
Yes. 70s Lakers.
70s Lakers. I'd have to go with just the Steel. I say I don't want to be biased. I'd say the Bulls. Trevor, that run.
No, I tell you who is like that often gets overlooked is that UCLA in the John Wooden days.
Correct. Yes.
That's up there for me. Yeah. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Bill Walton Day. Yeah, that era.
Yeah.
I think they won like 10 of 11 national championships or something.
Yeah.
And I mean, the tournament it wasn't what it is now, but it was still, pretty tough. Pretty tough.
Yeah.
In a field of how many teams?
Right.
Across the country to win like 10 of 11 or 11 of 12, some ridiculous number of national championships during the time.
Right.
Yeah, you got to put the Wizard of Westwood up there as well. But as much as it pains me to say the Celtics of the 60s, I mean, Bill Russell can fill up both of his hands plus one finger with rings.
Right.
So,
right. Yeah.
Ridiculous.
No, but good shit. And then last question we got here. Best lead singer of all time.
Oh, God, you're going to incite a riot here.
Mm-hmm.
When I think of lead singers, I think of rock and roll for the most part.
Yep.
And if you're thinking rock and roll, Vince Neil's probably in the heyday. Vince Neil, John Bon Jovi's up there. What's Johnston for AC/DC?
Yes.
Although they might have been better with the predecessor. Fuck Mick Jagger, of course.
Yes. Right.
Joe Elliott for Def Leppard. Ozzy, Black Sabbath. Are you serious? God, man. I tell you one that his vocal skills, and I've gone to appreciate him more, unfortunately posthumous, was Chester Bennington of Linkin Park.
Yes.
Just the range that he had and how he could hold like one of the highest notes with the right amount of throat into it. And you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
One of the most underappreciated lead vocalists of all time. I'll say that. But it's tough.
Yeah,
it's tough to say. What do you think?
I got top three because I can't separate these guys. Well, Freddie's in there.
Go ahead.
Freddie Mercury.
Oh, Freddie. Yeah.
Ozzy, for sure.
Oz. Mm-hmm.
He's a dickhead asshole. But you go back, I mean, it only lasts 2-3 years and then his voice went out. But Axl Rose, Guns N' Roses, you listen to...
Yeah. And his prime.
Yeah, for guys out there, and even if Trevor, go back and listen to Welcome to the Jungle live. They didn't have auto-tune, so
Ridiculous.
He's doing all those sounds. He's such an asshole, though, Trevor, but I have to put him in there because some of the shit he would do. And November Rain hits me.
Yeah.
It's good shit.
The terminology you used was key there, lead singer. And if you said frontman, you got to put Captain Head in there as well.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But, he was a guitarist and a vocalist. And I will say Metallica's vocals, not the greatest of all time, for sure. It was more their melodic tunes and the way they told stories with their songs. That's kind of made them fucking huge.
And they're regarded one of the best. Besides AC/DC, Metallica's right fucking, like
Oh,
they might even be number one on some lists.
Mm-hmm.
But no, good shit.
Yeah, I'd say top 3. Probably Chester's got to be up there just because of legacy. Mick Jagger. And then I can't really say Bon Jovi. I'll say Vince Neil. Vince Neil in his prime.
Yeah, it's good shit. It's good shit. All of them are fucking.
Yeah, no particular order with that too. I can't really like figure out on the spot a 1, 2, 3 there. So, but anyway.
Yeah, no, that's all I had for my side of debate time. But we'll transition to Trevor's.
Yep. Real quick, classic or new era basketball shorts. And I'm talking, when I say classic, I'm talking like down to the fucking shins, like Jalen Rose in that commercial level of shorts, like 2000s.
I like new era.
Me too.
Yeah. I don't like
keep them at the knee.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't need the basketball going off the shorts while you're dribbling in between.
No.
Sorry.
No.
It looks like you're wearing pantaloons. So
yeah,
I don't like it. Like it. But to cap it off, buckle up with the boys. Be a man. Question of the week: what is the best piece of advice your father has given you?
See, Trevor told me this one. He sometimes tells me, but this one I've been pondering on the whole show. I think what was instilled is the world doesn't owe you shit. I've been told that multiple times. So
that's a good one.
Yeah. Because I think when you're young, you think, and not to get into it, but I was a little pissant, and I thought,
it's all right
against authority and societal views, I guess, but kind of instilled that in me. Like, you got to work your ass off if you want to do something in this life. The world ain't gonna give it to you. So that's what I would say.
Totally. Yeah. No, absolutely.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things I could say that my father has told me, taught me loyalty.
Yeah.
Loyalty is a big thing with him and me. Obviously taught me how to have a good time.
Yes.
A lot of good pieces of wisdom there. As a bad day watching sports is better than most days at an office.
Right.
I'd say the biggest one, and I don't mean to kind of go on a religious end of it here, is whether you go to church or not, whether you believe in a certain faith or not, you got to keep God in your life. You got to keep faith in your life.
Right.
It gives you hope for a better tomorrow, and obviously it gives you hope for what's beyond the present, what's beyond this earth. So that's definitely the biggest one.
No, and I thought appreciate family too.
Family first. And honestly, just doing things because it's the right thing to do. And he's shown a very good example of that throughout his life, especially with we brought in foster kids for a long time, and I have an adoptive sister, and that was stressful as all hell. It wore my mom and my brother and I out for sure, but he got us involved, kept us involved in the whole say-so of the process, and said, I want to do this because it's the right thing to do. And that's ultimately what it kind of came down to. So you got to do things because it's the right thing to do. Difference between right and wrong. That was huge. Very, very fortunate in that regard.
Right. And I'd say too, Trevor, that era, because both our dads are similar in age, I think that was the end of the era. Getting your hands dirty, appreciate your family, bust your ass. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's when it kind of went how the world is now. Appreciate family, appreciate your kids, all that shit. I think we forget that sometimes. Patience is a virtue.
Oh,
yes.
is another one.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, good shit.
Yeah.
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 Awesome.
No, I've grown to, that's probably one of my favorite, I know it's at the end of the show, but it's one of my favorite topics we touch on it. And I think it's good shit, reflection and talking about shit. But yeah, no, this was another episode of Buckle Up with the Boys. Hopefully you stayed to this point. If not, you missed out. Can't say that enough. I think the show gets better as it goes, and that's what our slogan is: all gas, no breaks. There's no breaks throughout this. There's no ads yet. We'd like to get ads someday, but there's no fucking commercials or shit. They're still talking, but
not during the lives anyway.
No, but we appreciate
no ad reads yet.
No, but we appreciate everybody as always. Have a good day. Have a good night. Stay safe out there. God bless. We'll be back next Tuesday at 8:00. Make sure to subscribe, like, and comment, and anything for the folks before we sign off.
Have a good week, everybody. Enjoy filling out your brackets. Hopefully every one of y'all wins some money. Just be prepared for the angst and the heartache that comes with March.
Yes.
Whether you're in my particular profession or whether you're a college basketball fan or whether you're just a human and you're dealing with shit.
Yes. Yeah.
Find an escape and have a good week. God bless.
Yeah. And again, your host here, DB, and host Trevor Dinsmore. We'll see you next Tuesday, 8:00. Appreciate all you beautiful people.
Take care, y'all.